the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Genentech Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Testosterone, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Genentech Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Genentech Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, Chief Marketing Officer of Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
For an auto brand, a lot of people scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But there's a lot we can talk about these vehicles that gets people excited about the car. And it's more than just the sheet metal. It really is about lifestyle in a lot of ways. For us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent. And that's because we can talk a lot about the features. I think we're learning that we can get a lot more from audio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com. That's iHeartResults.com.
It's hot out there, but the car market's heating up too. Get the season's best price for your car right now from America's Best Car Buyer. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day, and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on.
The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day.
The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Lots to get to today. From Trump says, I'll leave, to RFK Jr. gets some really bad news. And an earthquake shakes things up in Los Angeles. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Good day.
Hello, Seeley. What's happening? And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. You can also watch the show live on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. Oh, yeah. By the way,
this sounds like a tornado warning, is it not?
I thought we needed people to share the show. We need them warned properly about sharing the show. I hate when you whistle like that because it reminds me, just the other day, I was sitting out in the living room. I was like, man, my whistling is on point right now. I was like, I'm hitting a loud whistle, and then I did it, and then Courtney's like, Sabrina does it louder than that. And I was like, yeah, because I can't do the thing where I put my fingers in my mouth.
The thing is you can. The thing is you can. And everyone who, like, it's one of my favorite conversations with strangers when they hear it. They're like, how do you do that? I'm like, I'm going to teach you right now. But the biggest thing is practice.
Yeah. But
if you've got fingers in a mouth, you can do it.
You've tried to teach me, I think, just multiple times. Every single time, failed miserably, never got it down, but here we are to Share the Show Tuesday. So lift some weight out there for us today. Hit that like button over on the YouTube stream. See how loud that is? Send a link around to your friends, send the podcast, or better yet, go to thenewsjunkie.com/share. Over there, you can see all of our social media profiles, and you can follow along, and that will be greatly appreciated on a Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Good as well.
All right.
And you?
Hanging in there. Yeah. Lots going on in the world here.
Almost too much.
I would say so, yes. And we're not even toward the end of the year. I forgot that we had the damn poker tournament that we were going to be at coming up this weekend.
It's always around this time where I'm like, how does poker happen again and work?
Yeah. And I'm always like, I'll try to get out of the poker tournament fast because I'll be like, I got some stuff to do and I want to go do this.
You can't do that. No,
and
unless grandma dies, you have to be there.
No, I'm saying, like, if I go, I'll go all in. I'll go all in.
Right.
Every time I do that, I start winning. Like, when I'm not playing on, like, when I'm not trying to be strategic, I start winning. And then I stay there way longer than I would have otherwise. And it's always fun, though. I have a good time. There's certain things I'm a fan of, certain things I'm not a fan of. And that event is a good one. It's a really, really good time. So we hope to see some of you out there this weekend.
Gosh,
okay?
the first time the three of us are together in like 2 years.
I know. We were talking about that yesterday on the way to go see a movie. Last night we went to see. Courtney picks the movies, as I've said. Oftentimes I have no idea what's going on going into it. And she goes, we're going to see a movie. And when we get there, I was like, what's this movie? And she goes, it's called Skincare.
Oh,
and I go,
okay.
Well,
I haven't heard
that
of that
doesn't
one.
sound like that sounds like a terrible movie.
Well, you're glowing. It's worth mentioning.
What's this movie we're going to see? Oh, it's called Economics.
It just sounds bad.
Well,
Skincare.
I'm horny.
It's got Elizabeth Banks. You guys know who Elizabeth Banks
Yes.
is?
Yeah.
I think it's one of her first times where she's like really the star of something. And it's this movie.
Would you not call her a star of Zack and Miri Make a Porno?
I would say.
I haven't seen that. I don't know that one.
Oh, that's a good one for home.
Yeah, all I know is she's usually just really great. Like she was in Modern Family with a great starring role. She's been in so many things where she's like that great guest star. And she was the star, without a doubt, of this movie. And when we go in to watch this, I have no idea what's going to happen. And then it turns out, like the whole thing, it's about a person who has a skincare line in like a boutique where they help people out with their skin. And then another competitor moves in right across the way. And they're kind of going at it and they hate each other. And there's like murder plots and stuff. And they said it's based on a true story. Said it's like there's true elements.
I haven't seen anything about this.
Me either. I don't know where she got it from. There's only like 4 people.
Cutthroat world of skincare.
I know.
You'd be
it's
surprised,
dangerous.
man.
It's dangerous out there. All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours. And we go to ESPN, baby.
Yeah.
All right. That's right.
Wait for
Generally, we're going to ESPN because we know sports, we love sports, and we do sports. But this time, we're at ESPN for a different reason. Let's salute our broadcast brethren, Malika Andrews, over at ESPN.
Oh, Malika!
Because she gave a bit of a master class on how to handle an earthquake live on air. Here she goes.
Team had home country in these Olympics.
And it was so much fun to see, particularly the crowd sort of getting behind as we have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles.
Just a bit.
So
you hear that? You hear The amount of shaking, let me turn that up just a little bit more and scoop back. The amount of shaking that's going on as this thing hits.
Particularly the crowd sort of getting behind as we have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles. So we're just going to make sure that our studio lights, everything stays safe, everything's shaking. You good, Mylan? Everybody good?
That's
all right, thank you so much for bearing with us through that. Our studio was shaking just a little bit. Tarsi, if you're still good in the studio and in the...
Yeah, that was a fast one,
It was
right?
like
Very
a 4
quick.
point something.
Yeah, 4.4 magnitude earthquake in Los Angeles on Monday afternoon. And she goes from her guest to like checking in with everybody who's on the stage. I'm guessing she was right. That sounded like lights to you, right, Sealand? Like those studio lights shaking ahead on the rafters.
I think those are usually pretty secure up there, but when the whole building is shaking, yes, that's probably where some of that sound is coming from. Anything that's flown up, I think.
Yeah, and she just goes, all right, we good. Boom, right back to it in the middle of an earthquake over there in Pasadena, Los Angeles, all of that area. They initially said it was a 4.7, then they brought it to a 4.4. It was only 7.5 miles deep. Still not the big one for LA. They're always on edge over there. That's the thing. I've said it before about this planet of ours. No matter where you look, they got their stuff. No matter where you look, okay? If you look at California, you look at Los Angeles, you say it's almost a microclimate. It's beautiful. It barely rains. It's almost constantly in the 70s and 80s over here. Boy, they don't even get hit with hurricanes over here. Tornadoes, it doesn't happen. But guess what? Wildfires and, of course, earthquakes, when they wait for the big one that could cause a bunch of damage. Pick anywhere, and they have their problems. You can look at entire continents. The continent of Africa, very rarely, the whole continent, very rarely ever has earthquakes. But they do have other things. Everybody has their own things.
Like lions.
And over on the West Coast, it could be those earthquakes.
I've only been to California one time, and actually 2 months from today, I'll be there for the second time ever. And there's part of me, just a small part. I don't want like any crazy, everybody dies. I just want a little tremor. I want to feel a little rumble.
Wake you up?
Yeah.
One and only time I've been to LA, we had gone to that weird Airbnb and then woke up and the guy that was hosting was like, by the way, the entire mountain that we're on is on fire, so we're going to have to get out of here. And that was the start of the, what was it, campfire? Remember the one that took out like...
That was a big one. Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, this is California. How great. We probably will keep this convertible that we rented closed.
Of course, Sealand would be the guy who's like, I just want a little earthquake.
It's just a tiny little earthquake would be kind of fun.
I want to feel the earth move under my feet and then sing the song while it's rumbling underneath you.
And then scream.
That's much like my dream to one day be in Africa driving in the rain while Africa from Toto comes on the radio. Like the vibe that would create would be...
They probably hate that song, huh?
I know they do. I'm sure they do. But
it's also a very geographically inaccurate song.
And lyrically nearly impossible.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that. If it was raining and I was in Africa and I was rocking out to that song, I'd be like, yes, this is cool.
It would be Sean's luck that he goes somewhere in Africa and then it starts raining. He's like, I'm feeling the rains down in Africa. And then it never stops raining for his entire trip.
Never get a flight home. No. I'd have to live there now. All right. Last night, there was a meeting of the minds, if you will, over on X/Twitter. And Elon Musk interviewed, for whatever reason, former President Trump in a Twitter space.
The Elon...
Every time they try to do one of these Twitter spaces, like a big one, because they had Ron DeSantis during the primaries, and then there was a problem at the beginning there. I don't think Twitter spaces is set yet for really big audiences all tuning in at once.
I just think it's an awkward platform for something to do on such a large scale. I mean, during the pandemic was one thing when a lot of things happened over Zoom meetings.
It's better as a group chat. Because
that's what it is. But when they're replaying clips of it on the news this morning, and it's audio only, because if you were to watch it, it would just be people's avatars lighting up when they start talking. It's kind of underwhelming.
It is, and it seems like every time that this big thing happens, they always have technical issues. Did they not have technical issues this past
So think about you start up a website and you launch Sabrina.com and you put all the features out there and stuff, and everything's working fine. You go, okay, website's working good. But then all of a sudden you go viral and there's a huge spike of traffic to your website. It's hard to test for that moment until that moment happens. So they just don't have a lot of these spaces that are really going viral with like 1 million people listening. And then when they do, the wheels fall off.
But that's what wasn't like the last time and the time before that, the test in which they're like, hey, we're going to do this big one. Definitely going to have a lot of traffic. How do we end up with the same problem every single time?
Well, I think this may have been bigger than the Ron DeSantis one. And who knows? I've never been on, I've been on some spaces just listening for a second or two. There was one where they were talking about like cryptocurrencies. I think the audience interaction thing is kind of cool. I like how that replaces a phone call. I was working on some stuff with the website like that before, but the audience just isn't there necessarily with the technology.
By the way, you said something that piqued my interest. Do you know, you said something very specific that piqued my interest and distracted me for a second. Do you know what it was?
What was it?
Sabrina.com.
Did you go to Sabrina.com?
Currently just a 2 pink tone web page that says coming soon. Email us s@sabrina.com. And
I wasn't ready to announce that, you know.
Well, that would be expensive.
It's that's not mine. However, I've had another website for many years, and at one point, quite a few years ago, I paid money for someone to develop it, and then I was like, this is not where I want it to be. And then there was some event in which they decided, without running it by me, to be like, find it at Sabrina.com.
Oh, no.
And both of you are like, you have your own website? And I'm like, don't look at it, it's not ready. Now I think it says under construction forever.
Look, everybody should have at least one of those, like, the what do you call them? Like, I want to say a business card website. Yeah, like the link tree kind of thing.
That's what CLane.com is.
Yeah, because it's
c-lane.com, c-lane.com, and where you find any way of finding me.
Well, it is a Share the Show Tuesday, so go on over there. But
I
those
don't even
things,
know where my website's at.
that's smart because it used to be so difficult for us to go. You could find us on this platform with this.
Right.
Like, I'm the news junkie on everything. Wherever you go, I'm the news junkie. But sometimes it's like different things on different platforms.
I think when you first think of a link tree, the more than not, the link trees that I've seen are always girls with OnlyFans pages.
Oh,
true. Yeah, yeah. They'll have like 3 normal social media platforms, and there's like, by the way, and it's got arrows by the side of it, like animated.
VIP.
Just join the squad or whatever. Okay, so here's during the space with Donald Trump, and there was 1.2 million people listening, I guess, at one point in time, and Trump made it sound like if he doesn't win the election, that he might be going to Venezuela. Here he is talking about that.
And again, I told you that crime rates all over the world are going way down, which makes sense. In fact, the next time what we'll do is if something happens with this election, which would be a horror show, we'll meet the next time in Venezuela because it'll be a far safer place to meet than our country, okay? So we'll go, you and I will go, and we'll have a meeting and dinner in Venezuela because that's what's happening.
All right, we have to talk about one obvious thing real quick. That does sound to me like he's doing the celebrity thing where, I don't know, somebody on The View goes, hey, if my candidate doesn't win, I'm moving to Canada. Or like, and everybody always says, you'll get 100 people before the election that say, if my candidate doesn't win, I'm moving to England. And nobody usually moves afterwards. They just say this kind of thing.
It's just funny because he's saying it now, but so many people before have said it about him.
Yeah, right. That's true. A lot of people have. Arnott says he was obviously kidding. I don't know that he was necessarily kidding. I think he's trying to say, if I don't win, law and order will collapse in the United States of America, and we'll chat somewhere else. I think that's a veiled threat at like, I don't want to be here. All hell's going to break loose. I know Venezuela has a lot of problems. I'm not sure if he's fully aware of the scope of those problems, but he's at least hinting that he might pop over there if things don't go for him in the election. And then the second thing, which is worth mentioning, is I think he may have, and I've seen this swerved by people who are like, you see, his faculties are failing him, or he's drunk, or I think he may have had some orthodontics work or something done before this.
Oh, the lisp.
He's very clearly lisping. He sounds like he has a retainer in his mouth, or
Invisalign,
or an Invisalign, or there's something. This is from the other side of the actual space where you see Trump.
Yes, if we could just record that conversation and post it would have been excellent. I hope we can have something like that.
It's Elon Musk, obviously.
Well, I think we will. I'm pretty sure we will. And congratulations, because I see you broke every record in the book with so many millions of people, and it's an honor. We view that as an honor.
You can just tell he's talking a little differently than he generally does there. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe he went to the dentist or something happened beforehand.
It's just so weird that they do this. What's supposed to be a big, online event, and to join it, they just give President Trump an iPhone to talk into. And I saw now I didn't know where this clip was from when I saw a screenshot of it this morning on Reddit, and somebody's like zoomed in, like, which of the MagSafe chargers is Trump using? I'd like to get myself that MagSafe charger.
It does happen though. So if we're ever to relate to Donnie. And I'm surprised you guys didn't notice my commercial for home loans yesterday.
Yeah.
I went full blown like Ice Age, that little rodent, Sid.
All right, yes.
I just found it. You ready?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even hear this.
Years. And all veterans and active duty military, a down payment assistance fund up to $35.
I've done that.
Down payment assistance fund.
When you do that, you're
active
like,
duty military, a down payment assistance fund up to $35.
When you do that, you like float over your own head, and you see your body down below
How
you.
long have I been doing this and no one said anything?
What's happening? Only thing I need to do is keep talking, focus on continuing to talk. Somebody said it sounded like an audio glitch, a wonky audio issue, says Alicia. I don't think so. I think he either had some dental work done or something. It was consistent through a long portion of the interview.
Maybe he just ate something spicy.
I was put off by it because I don't ever want to watch an interview with like my buddies, because Elon has come out in support of Trump, so I feel like you're not going to get fireworks there. I want to watch MSNBC interview Trump. That sounds fun. Or I want to watch Fox News interview Kamala Harris. I want to see some sparks fly rather than just people throwing out just meatballs at the plate while
That's why
the person's sitting there.
The Black Journalist Convention was so much fun.
That was awesome, right?
It was a good time.
This was contentious. People were like, we're not even going to pretend we like you. You're not going to pretend you like us. You're going to tell us everything was rude. It was awesome. That's chaos, and it's interesting at the very least to me.
September 10th, here we come.
That's the next one.
Good time, ABC.
ABC is the next one. That's right. So there you go. That was yesterday after the show, and a lot of people had tuned into that. I don't know if anything was accomplished, but it was a thing, and there's certainly to be many more of those on the way to the election.
Ooh, somebody on the texting service said maybe he had a canker sore.
It could have been. You get one of them on the side of your cheek.
Man, some of those, depending on the placement, really ruin
and you
my...
just keep biting it.
Yeah, it's bad.
Or poking at it with my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing that I hate worse than that, believe it or not, is if you do a real bad burn of the roof of your mouth. Like a real bad one where it kind of sags down a little bit on you, and then it keeps breaking.
Or it feels kind of like rough, like sandpapery.
Yeah, it's no good. Not a good time.
And that concludes This Week in Mouth Problems.
Yeah, right. Dave on YouTube says, what's the difference between them and mainstream media throwing softball questions to the left? Maybe you misunderstood. I'm saying if you had Kamala Harris doing an interview with a friendly outlet like MSNBC, that seems boring to me because they're not going to really push her up against the ropes at all. They're probably going to give her a friendly interview because they are ideologically aligned with her. If you hear Elon, who has announced that he supports Trump running for president and his candidacy, Elon's not really going to try to put Trump's feet to the fire. They're just going to talk back and forth and they're going to agree on things. I don't necessarily find just people like, fluffing each other up on the same side super exciting to me.
Now, it would have been the opportunity for him to be like, hey, why did you talk so much smack about electric vehicles?
Yeah, I don't think that happened. I'll be honest with you, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I only saw a couple of chunks of it out there. But if you did, let us know what you thought. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and fire off a dispatch right now. Ornat is saying the audio thing is a known issue with these platforms. Look up Zoom Solutions. It's not new or a sore. You don't have to be this way. What did I just do, Ornat? What did I just do? I played it from the Twitter Spaces side, and I showed you what was going on. And to pop that balloon before you blew it up, I played it from Trump's side, where somebody without any of the Twitter audio issues was recording the very same thing happening. I'm not saying the weirdo take that he's drunk or any of these other things, but clearly he had some going on in his mouth during
I don't
this
think he actually
interview.
drinks, does he?
He doesn't. He's a teetotaler. Yeah, he's not into drinking. I don't know if he ever has been, which that's another strange thing to me, but there you go. When we return, a pop star fighting with her father brings it into mainstream news. And I want to take this and twist it into a different direction when we come back. We'll do that together. Plus, we'll hear from you, your dispatches. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Smart speakers can't stop you from saying stupid stuff when you're coming out of anesthesia. When I grow up, I want to be a puppy. But they can't play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. All you got to do is ask.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple minor accidents. Authorities are still clearing up here. The shoulder's blocked northbound on US 27 between US 192 and County Highway 474. There's an accident in the city on Central Boulevard at Terry Avenue. And watch out for an accident on Florida's Turnpike southbound before I-4. The shoulder's blocked there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Early Learning Coalition of Osceola County.
Want to give your child a learning experience that's free, fun, and gets them ready for the future? The voluntary pre-kindergarten program is your answer. It's available at no cost to any 4-year-old child residing in the state of Florida. Visit our website at elcosceola.org. That's elcosceola.org.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Own the moment with the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. Wear timeless styles with technology that lets you listen to music, capture pictures and videos, live stream, make a hands-free call or text, and even ask Meta AI questions on the go. All while you stay present in the moment.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, explains how audio is an ideal way for brands to tell their stories.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. I think that there's something deep in all of us that enjoys listening to and telling stories. When I think about what we do here at Genentech, we do a lot to actually tell the broader story of our company and the legacy that we stand upon. 45 years marketing more than 40 medicines over that time period. And we celebrate that in story form, in audio format. It's a great way for people to learn more about what we offer and to be educated in an easy and convenient way.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hey, if you want a nicer, newer car you can afford, go for the gold during my old ride relay. RC Hill here. If your old ride's a loser, too many miles, too many problems, or just doesn't look good, hand it off to me. I'll give you over Kelley Blue Book value. Here at RC Hill, we're focused on affordability. My dream team of finance specialists hustle hard to help you find a car you'll love at a low rate and a monthly payment that fits your budget. That's what my perfect payment program is all about. Get a great deal on a new 2024 Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty, or check out our certified used trucks, SUVs, and sports cars. So if you hate your old ride, get in the game and get way over trade value. But hurry, this race ends this weekend. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. RC Hill Mitsubishi and used car superstores in DeLand and Ocala. See all the gold medal rides at rchill.com. That's rchill.com. And if you need to sell your car today, visit rchillbuyscars.com. We pay you on the spot.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The #1 cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Can he get there? He does! It's gold for the USA!
iHeartRadio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics, brought so many memorable moments.
Look, Captain America put the country on his back.
And you heard it on iHeartRadio. Relive all the amazing moments and stories of the 2024 Paris Olympics on 3 epic podcasts: The Podium, In the Village, and 2 Guys, 5 Rings. Open the free iHeart app, search Olympics, and start listening now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is
I was talking about the movie that Courtney dragged me along to. It was good. I actually enjoyed it. Called Skincare, which is the worst name for a movie to Google or to just like pass along to other people. And then I was talking to Courtney and I said, what else could they have named this movie? It's about these 2 skincare professionals that are warring with each other and there's a murder plot. And in the real life story, the woman afterwards, she, used this viral fame to try to make money off of it. And she started calling the services at her salon murder facials. And I said, they could have called it murder facial. And I was like, no, that one sounds kind of bad too. No.
I feel like some stuff would come up.
There's not a lot of really great potential names here for this movie, but the fighting words come in from Jackie J, who says, you're mixing up your blonde actresses. Elizabeth Banks is not in Modern Family. And is she not? She had a guest role.
The guest role, I believe she did have.
Yeah, she was like the drunk friend.
She was in 7 episodes.
Yes. Okay. So, Jackie, I want your apology in chat, please. You were wrong, and I was right about that one.
She also, director. She was in Pitch Perfect. She was in.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about that.
I mean, she's been in a lot of stuff. She's fantastic.
She's the. Are they supposed to be podcast host or radio host of the Pitch Perfect thing?
No, they're announcers at the actual competition.
Oh, I thought it was like going on to some recording that they were doing, because they're always like they're talking into like radio mics and stuff. But yes,
that's where our radio stuff comes in. Like those aren't the mics they would use.
You wouldn't. That's all wired all wrong.
Well, like any movie that centers around some sort of competition, like Pitch Perfect does, they need commentary, of some sort. So, like, for Dodgeball, that's when they came up with ESPN The Ocho, so that they would have a commentary to drive the story forward and be a part of the action. And then there's been other movies where it's like, all right, but this is a Little League movie. It wouldn't even be on the Ocho. And then they'll just have 2 kids that have like a podcast or like a live stream or something. It's always something like that.
It's a storytelling method. That works. Martin on YouTube says you could have named it Kill or Make Up. I see what you're doing. It's better than all the other ones so far. Let's get to this story about a pop star fighting with her father. And this pop star is Elle King, and the father is Rob Schneider of Adam Sandler in his world. Yeah, when she first came out, she had a song that was popular, X's and O's. And Elle King was going around, and then it became like a Today I Learned, or like a fact or a tidbit that you were like, hey, did you know her dad is Rob Schneider? And people go, what? The pop star girl? Her dad is Rob Schneider? Okay, that seems strange.
See, Elle King for me, and there's no way I can prove it, but like every time I hear the name, I'm like, I just go, oh, that girl. Because she also, the first time she really ever went viral was for her acoustic version of My Neck, My Back.
Oh, I remember that.
And upon it going viral, I'm like, those are the exact same chords that I used when I did it in high school.
Yeah.
However, that video is not on the internet for very poor reasons, and I'm glad, so take it, Elle King.
All right, so it's very clear that Elle King enjoyed benefits from her father being a famous guy, Rob Schneider, being like in movies and stuff, and probably got her some attention of some people in the music industry that may otherwise not have been giving her that attention. So
her mother is also a former model and actress.
What's her mother's name? Is her last name King? Is
that what she's London King.
London King, all right, because her real name is Elle Schneider. So she ditched that and gone with the Elle King to separate herself. But she really hates her dad's politics. And Rob Schneider's a political guy. When he does stand-up, he goes out there and he comes from a right-of-center perspective.
Has he always been this way, or just kind of really upped the ante?
All I can say is,
because I never knew that until it was like all up in your face, kind of.
But I can only say that since I've heard him talking about politics, I think before he didn't really talk about politics. In fact, a lot of people that never really talked about politics started talking about politics in the last 10 years or so because of how crazy everything has gotten. But she is not fond of her father. She says the relationship is very toxic right now. I don't think this is a wild, esoteric example of how familial and otherwise relationships have gone because of politics. I think sometimes this happens. And especially if you're famous, you're like, oh, my dad is coming from a right-of-center perspective. My fan base is not in touch with this. They're women between the ages of like 18 and 34. Women between the ages of 18 to 34, it's like 60%, left of center thinking. And so you got to step out in front of these things. She said to a podcast host, I was like a really, really heavy child, and my dad sent me to fat camp. And then I got in trouble one year because I sprained my ankle and I didn't lose any weight. It was very toxic and very silly. And so she's mad about that, for one thing, being sent over to fat camp. Are there any places that they actually legit call it a fat camp?
No,
or is that just
not
like
legit?
That's the nickname?
There's definitely like health camps or camps that you can go to where it's still fun, but I think that there's, health.
I couldn't just Google fat camp if I wanted to find.
That's what I was just going to try.
See?
I think nobody would call their thing a fat camp. That
Just
would
like
sound
they don't
really bad.
call it gay conversion camp either.
Weight loss camp. Oh, this is even worse. It says a fat camp, a weight loss camp, or a fat farm. Fat farm. Got sent out to the fat farm. That sounds terrible. So she wasn't fond of that. And then she says, I disagree with a lot of the things that he says. You're talking out of your ass, and you're talking about drag and, anti-gay rights. It's like, get effed. He's just talking out of his ass, and I want to use this opportunity to say I disagree. I do not agree with what he says. And so she's going on about this. I've seen this so many times with families, relationships, and all of that. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish way more people would be like, look, we could disagree on things, and then we know what we should and shouldn't talk about together, and we continue on. Because what is really bad, in my estimation, is when you stop hanging out with people who have a different way of viewing the world than you. They view the world through a different lens. They have different political beliefs than you. It's very, very healthy to have all sorts of divergent opinions in your world. It helps you realize what you actually think about something. I know this might seem crazy, but when I was 21 years old, I had a very different set of opinions than I have right now at 43 years old. My opinions change over time. Why? Not because I kept myself in a bubble, but because I exposed myself to more things. Different thought process, different political opinion, all of that.
That's okay in children, yeah.
Children
was early on.
Yeah, I did that real early out the gate. And now if
I'm the opposite.
Too late.
I'm going to be 50 years old.
I was just adding that to the list of things you've exposed yourself to.
Oh, right.
That's where the joke was that didn't quite land. It's fine. It's cool.
Glad it didn't. All right, what do you think? Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. I thought you were for a second talking about the thing I sent over yesterday where I said, I saw a guy from the Bachelor world, and he had his little kid holding a sign, and it said, I think it said, he was going to preschool, and it said class of 2037.
I saw something like that this morning.
And I said, if this was Jackson, Sealand, it would be like class of like 2041 or something. And that sounds so far in the future.
And then I made a joke where I was like, you're going to be like 80. And then it was like 2 hours later. You're like, that math doesn't make sense. I'll be 60-something. And I'm like, I didn't do the damn math.
I thought I did the math. I thought I did the math. That's what I was doing there. Because I sat on the couch for 45 minutes thinking I was going to be 80 when Sealand's son graduates high school. I was like, I'm going to be so old. I was like, when he graduates high school, Jackson, I'll be 80 years old. And it was stuck with me. And then Courtney goes, that doesn't make sense. Because he graduates at 18 and there's 17 more years. And I go, made me feel a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit. What do you think? Let us know with your dispatches. We'll get into those next. Plus, have you ever refused to stay in a hotel for any number of reasons? I don't know if you've refused to stay for this reason, but you got to hear this story about why somebody said, no way am I staying the night there. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
All aboard for Real Yacht Rock Weekends. Every weekend this summer on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Today it'll be hot, the high 95 degrees in Orlando. It'll feel like 107, so take it easy out there. We've got a 30 to 40% chance for a couple of afternoon thunderstorms with lots of lightning. Otherwise, we'll see a higher rain chance tomorrow and especially Thursday before a brief break in the rain for Friday and Saturday with some drier air rolling into the region. But it's only brief with more storms on the way for next week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in one easy app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Folks, you got to check out Mills Air. If you have any issues whatsoever with your air conditioner, don't freak out. It could be a real tempting reaction because all of a sudden you put your hand up and you feel the vent and you go, it's not cold. This is not good. This could be $$. You are in great hands with Mills Air. If it's a tiny problem, a cheap problem, an easy to fix problem, they're going to be honest about it and your bill will be reflecting that. If it's a bigger problem, don't worry. They have financing for basically everybody out there, and they have huge deals. Big rebates, actually, because they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. They can get your rebates up to $1,275 for a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. Find them online at millsair.com.
If you're thinking about selling your business, now is the perfect time. Florida's economy has attracted great buyers that are actively seeking new investment opportunities. Simply put, they're looking for businesses just like yours. At Transworld, our mergers and acquisitions team has extensive experience in confidentially selling privately held firms across all industries. Call us today at 833-735-5352. That's 833-SELL-FLA. And speak confidentially with one of our advisors with no obligation. That's 833-SELL-FLA. Or visit transworldma.com. Once again, that's transworldma.com. Transworld Business Advisors, the #1 lower middle market firm in Florida. Good deals, good people.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming Wednesday, September 18th.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos.
And we'll get to those in a moment. But first, in the world of sports, which we cover from time to time here, it's because we know a lot about sports.
Live, breathe, bleed, dream, sports, baby.
Prognosticators. That's what we are. We are the people who know the sports, and that's why we're on top of this story as well. And it's a Los Angeles Dodgers star who's in the news. His name's Mookie Betts, which I'm going to go on the record saying that is a pretty cool name, Mookie Betts.
Were you going to go on the record with that?
Yes. I like Mookie Betts, and it reminds me.
Mookie?
It's Mookie.
Did it all for the Mookie.
Yeah, Mookie Betts is the guy's name, and he's got an issue. The team was coming to Milwaukee to play the Milwaukee Brewers, and for the second time in as many years, when the team came to Milwaukee, they stayed at a place called the Pfister Hotel.
Tell me more.
Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee.
Oh, there's no space in that. Never mind.
And he will not stay there. Mookie Betts says, I'm not doing it. Sorry. Every time they go there and they go to this hotel, he gets an Airbnb because he believes the hotel is haunted. And he's not going to stay with the rest of the team.
Yeah, it sounds like a kinky ghost, if anything.
It's a super old hotel. Can you guys find anything on the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee?
Make sure to put hotel ceiling.
Yeah, I don't even know if they'll have a Wikipedia page. Pfister. But they said it's allegedly haunted.
They do have a Wikipedia page.
They do?
Yep.
Does it mention the haunting stuff?
Let's see. It's a very short page. Luxury hotel downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Member of the Historic Hotels of America. Good for them. Owned by Guido Pfister and his son Charles.
Guido Pfister?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Opened in 1893, Romanesque revival style. It had features uncommon in its time, like fireproofing, electricity, and thermostat controls.
Whoa, scary.
For 1893, that was pretty uncommon. It doesn't say anything about it being haunted, though.
He said that he refused to stay with the team at the hotel, which was built in 1893 and is allegedly haunted. Instead, he booked a separate Airbnb as he did last May when the Dodgers made a trip to face the Milwaukee Brewers. He said he wanted separate accommodations just in case the ghost stories were true. And he said, I will never stay at that hotel again. Right. That place is totally haunted, and I want to stay away from him. Oh, you do?
Well, they're saying, according to Milwaukee Journal, and I'm going to try to read this before they're like, did you want to pay every single month? So it was built over a century ago. It's hard to definitely confirm sightings of the ghost, though several MLB players have been spooked by the eerie activity.
Really?
They say a lot of things linger here, according to Weiss. Who's Weiss? Bob Weiss, who is this is crazy, a ghost tour guide.
All right.
So I wonder if he's selling his business.
He's a believer, so he's a little vested in this, I think.
Oh, my God. There's no details of what ghost it could be.
Well, Bobby on YouTube says, a grown-ass man is scared of the dark. Well, I ask you, Bobby, all right? I ask you, is there a possibility that there will ever be some kind of hotel that, let's say, you booked and you show up, you got all your stuff, you're right there on the doorstep of the hotel, and you look at it and you go, nope, not going to do it. Will not be staying there at this hotel. I think there'll be somewhere I'd go, I don't believe in ghosts because I don't, but I don't want to be uncomfortable. And just the idea of an old, creaky, maybe haunted hotel. Like, can you stay at the hotel in The Shining? Can you actually stay at that place? I would not stay there.
Was that a real hotel? Did they film that at a hotel?
I don't know. Let me see. Hotel from Shining wiki. Maybe they have a wiki too.
I think there's definitely people that would like to stay there.
The Stanley Hotel is a 140-room hotel in Colorado, and it was the inspiration for the Overlook Hotel in The Shining in its 1980 film adaptation. So this is the place. But that's all made up. That whole thing is made up, not like, even if you have people going, I saw this, I saw that, it's still probably uncomfortable for some folks, I guess.
Oh, of course. So I got a little bit more on the Fister.
All right. What's the Fist Ghost?
So they say it seems to be a lot with MLB players in particular.
Oh, true. Okay.
But the Cincinnati Reds' Brandon Phillips claimed his radio turned on and off by itself. The Nationals' Bryce Harper said that he woke up to find his clothes and the table he laid them out had moved to the other side of the room.
What?
The Giants' Pablo Sandoval said his iPod played music on its own. Whoa. C.J. Wilson of the California Angels said his lights flickered on and off. Then there's the Red Sox. Shane Victorino said, come on, I don't believe in all that S. I know one of my teammates freaked out because the lights were flickering, but it's not haunted. There's nothing wrong with that hotel. So I guess he's not afraid of.
But these are grown-ass men. They're baseball players. And
why is it all baseball players?
Maybe that's just
they
a
tend to be very superstitious, right? Like
they do actually,
like wearing the same gloves or shoes or socks or something like that.
Keeping their fingers sticky.
Yeah, that's true. Radio Michael 7 on YouTube says, our friend says, yes, you could stay at the Stanley Hotel. It's a full hotel and they have ghost tours. It's really haunted, which is what inspired the story or movie. There's some people who dig that. It actually helps out hotels.
There's
it's a small
one
hotel
in California where they did the American Horror Story based out of it. But then that's also where that mystery of the foreign exchange student who ended up like down in the water basin.
Oh, yeah.
Remember they had that footage of her in the elevator kind of freaking out? We had talked about it years ago when it went viral, but that was at the same hotel. I forget the name of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd do it. I'd go see it, but I don't know if I could stay.
I would actually be more, and I think there's a lot of people who'd be 180 degrees from me on this, but bear with me. I would be more uncomfortable in staying at a place like the Anna Nicole Smith room at the Hard Rock in, I think, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Or like a room where I knew somebody died, or definitely somebody violently died. It would make me at least a little uncomfortable. And I don't believe in ghosts or any of that, but that room seems weird to me.
But you only get that information for the most part when it's a celebrity. I mean, statistically speaking, we've slept in the same bed that someone's died in.
Hotels, they gotta have people. They gotta have people who die all the time in the hotel rooms, and
Absolutely.
but they usually switch out the bed.
Yeah, but I told you about the bed that I got in college. That I was moving into my own place, like out of the dorm, and my grandma's like, "Oh, I was able to get a bed from the retirement home." And
that's the one.
Upon getting it, I'm like, looks like someone died on here, but it is a Serta, so I'm just going to put some covers on it and sleep on it for the next 3 years.
That's big savings right there. All right, we want to hear from you. We got these dispatches all lined up and ready to go. Send yours right now. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now.
No.
When we return, they're closing it. It's over.
No,
Again?
Ruined. This is the second time this week, I think.
Well, I got to tell you, when the things close, we didn't even get an opportunity to do this thing. It would have been fun. It would have been cool. But because everybody ruined it, they're closing it down forever. What is it? It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Smell that? It's almost football season. Hear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season here on Real Radio 104.1, courtesy of Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
There's slowdowns on Orange Blossom Trail near the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line meet, and intersection backups where John Young Parkway meets US 192 on I-4. Still heavy delays approaching State Road 429 there. Traffic is up to speed on State Road 429. No major problems on the Greenway so far, but if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by DellAir.com. Feel the Dell Air difference. Let Dell Air help you declare energy independence with a new AC system for up to 50% savings on energy bills. Call or visit DellAir.com to book your free estimate and start saving with summer rebates, specials, and interest-free financing.
Be injured on the go. JustCallMo.com. Real Radio Texas Charity Poker Tournament benefiting the mustard seed of Central Florida is sold out. But you can still join us and hang with your favorite celebrities in the ThatMortgageGuyDon.com casino. Enjoy food from Hard Rock Cafe and witness who wins it all at the Solar Source Final Table. And thanks to Mills Air for providing complimentary Michelob Ultras for our poker players. Saturday, August 17th at the Orlando Science Center. Casino passes are still available. Go to realradio.fm/poker for more info.
Buying a house or selling yours? The Nickley Group makes it as easy as ABC. And 1, 2... Oh, and fast, too, because the Nickley Group can get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today. Just visit thenickley.com.
If you suffer from allergies, have you ever thought, allergy treatment would be nice, but I bet it's really expensive? You can go get some Zyrtec or Claritin for $20, but think about how much that's going to add up over the years, decades, a lifetime. At Aspire Allergy and Sinus, they can make your allergies go away for good. They don't just mask them like the over-the-counter meds. This is real treatment that'll save you money in the long run. Go to AspireAllergy.com to set your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. To learn more, visit one of our 10 Orlando Sleep Number stores or visit sleepnumber.com.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
At Fence Outlet, we want you to be safe and ready this hurricane season. Remember to secure or remove loose items in your yard, like your outdoor lighting or flower pots. For more tips and the best in fencing for your home, visit fenceoutlet.com, Florida's #1 fencing company.
I'm John Walzak, host of the new podcast, Missing in Arizona.
And I'm Robert Fisher, one of the most wanted men in the world.
We cloned his voice using AI. In 2001,
police say I killed my family and rigged my house to explode
before escaping into the wilderness.
Police believe he is alive.
Join me.
I'm going down in the cave.
As I track down clues.
I'm going to call the police and have you removed.
Hunting.
One of the most dangerous fugitives in the world.
Robert Fisher.
Do you recognize my voice?
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Missing in Arizona.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the new.
We were talking about this baseball player being too scared to stay in the hotel room because he was worried about haunted rooms. Ooh. And Courtney was texting me, and I was like, oh, my God, I don't know if I ever told the story about her seeing a ghost when we were together. But true story. We were coming back from New Orleans. Remember the time we missed the flight? We didn't miss the flight. They canceled flights all across the country. Back? We rented a car. We had to drive back from New Orleans.
Oh, not too long ago then.
It was, a couple of years ago, I think. And we were cruising along, and I go, I'm so bad at driving long distances. We just talked to her dad, who in the last, I think, 2 months has driven 4,600 miles. He was telling us. I was like, you're insane, man.
They have an RV, right?
They have an RV, and some of that was in the RV, some of that was just driving around otherwise. And I was like, I hate driving these long distances. So we're driving back from New Orleans, and I go, we got to stop. And we stop, and we get a hotel for the night and, settle in and whatnot. And we're like, let's go out and do some stuff. We said, you know what, let's have a couple of shots back at the room. Might as well pick up a little bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
And Courtney was not feeling well at the time, so it was a tussin and tequila situation. All right.
I think that
she was down in a lot of Robitussin and in a lot of tequila.
You're trying to knock down her ghost sighting.
No, I'm telling you, this is true, absolutely true story. She had
well, I know what I'm having for dinner tonight.
I'm having it right now.
She had a whole bunch of Robitussin and tequila, and then I'm sleeping, middle of the night. Okay, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And all of a sudden, I hear the most blood-curdling scream a person could ever. Yes, just it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And I wake up, and Courtney is screaming like that. And she's screaming at the top of her lungs. And I run over, and I flip on the light. And she's still screaming. And she's pointing at the corner of the room, and she's like, "There's an old lady! There's an old lady!" And she's screaming about. And her eyes are wide open. Her eyes are fully open. You gotta get me! She's gonna get me! She's screaming out about this stuff. The old lady, and I didn't know what to do, so I start fighting it. I took my pillow. Did not. Swear to God, took my pillow and I threw it where she thought the old lady was, and I was like kicking the pillow. I go, "There's nothing here."
Stop an old lady ghost, by the way.
I didn't know what to do. But she was so scared. I've never seen a face like that. I've never seen a person's face with the level of fear.
Which leads you to believe that
she was tripping balls.
Okay. That's not what I was going for.
But she screeched so loud. And
they don't call it robo-tripping for nothing.
She was going, man. And she was so sure that there was a little monstrous old lady in the corner.
But there's one thing to, see it, and then that goes away in the tripping sense. But if she's still I see it right now, that leads me to believe there was a damn ghost.
She saw one.
I believe you, Courtney.
In that moment, 1,000% she saw one. And her eyes were still open. And I'm like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. She goes, right there.
Get out of here, ghost. That's my girl.
I'm kicking the pillow. I'm throwing a pillow in the corner. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm getting scared. Is there an old lady in here? And then I think the worst. What if you were in the next room and you just heard blood-curdling shrieks coming from my room? Mm-hmm. I'm like, all of the adjoining rooms are going to call the front desk and say there's
which says a lot about society today. They're like, someone else will take care of it.
We were in Tallahassee, right by the college.
Tallahassee, haunted AF, man.
It was spring break. So we were dead hotel room.
Multiple people screaming.
It was dead hotel room. Everybody was out of town, gone, doing something else somewhere else. And it was so freaky. She was sure 1,000% that she saw this creepy old lady in the corner. I didn't know how to respond. I was very worried because she was awake. Her eyeballs were open as she was doing this. The nightmare continued into the wake portion of her day, and that was freaky. If you ever had that happen to you, let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now.
We saw that.
Over.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Go ahead. No, it's not over.
Your ghost
it's not over
story.
anymore. Go ahead.
We did have an encounter with a ghost. We didn't see it. It was not an old lady, but it was his birthday.
Oh, yeah, when we went ghost hunting.
And they said, he'll be cool as long as we can. And then they brought out a brownie, and we sang happy birthday to the ghost.
Yep.
And then when you went to go pay your tab, they did charge you for the brownie that we no one ate.
Oh, the ghost didn't have anywhere to keep a wallet.
I bought a ghost a brownie. It's true, it did happen. And my experiences with ghosts have not been great. That hasn't been a good thing. All right, now it's closed. It's closed permanently because of you terrible human beings. That's what I'm blaming it on, at least. The portal connecting New York City and Dublin, Ireland will close permanently. They said in May, after a string of bad behavior on both sides of this screen, and there was a screen in New York, big giant portal screen you would go up to, and you would see people who were in Dublin, Ireland on the other side. You could wave at them and they could wave at you. And people started flashing it and trying to fight people.
What did you expect, portal people?
Yeah, the portal went bad immediately. Then they said, we're only going to open it up from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Weren't the people in Dublin holding up videos of the trade centers coming down?
9/11. Yeah, they were holding up the World Trade Centers on fire, and
that's messed up.
It was humans. This is what they're going to do. Humans going to human, and when you give them a portal, at first they're like, we're waving at the Irish people, and that's fun.
Oh, we're waving at the New York people.
Yeah, and they're waving back, and then all right, back, and then all of a sudden it's like, anybody flick them off yet? All right, and somebody flick. Then the Irish people are like, whoa, they just flick us off. It escalates, and it turned to nudity very quickly. So it's now closing permanently in September of this year.
They're going to move that somewhere else, right?
I don't know. It seems like big technology to just throw away.
Why close it in September? I mean, if it's a problem, why not just hit stop now? You just hit the off button, turn it off.
You know what? This gives people a couple of weeks here, at the very least, to get over to the portal and do something.
So if there's a mad rush on people that want to see the portal until September, and then what do? Oh, maybe we should keep it open.
They might. You think this maybe reinvigorates a little the excitement around the portal?
I don't know. I just think it's a weird flex to say, everybody's ruined the fun. This thing is bad. So we'll close it in 4 weeks.
So get your genitals out now, people.
It's going to happen. There's going to be at least one more, I think. The big pitch on the campaign trail, whether it's coming from Kamala Harris and crew or Trump and crew, Kamala Harris copied him, he says, on this, because the no tax on tips policy is now bipartisan somehow. Everybody wants those votes, and they're saying no tax on tips for service workers. We learned yesterday on the show that only 5% of tips are cash. Around 5% of tips are cash, and 95 are done on somebody's debit or credit card. And so then you have to think about divvying all of this up. The arguments against not having a tax on tips are, as I've seen it, a fewfold. One, people think, why them? Why do service industry people who make these tips and make a decent amount of money sometimes, why do they get the break on tax and not this group or this group or this group?
Because their wage is much lower, right?
Their hourly wage would be more of a low thing, especially in the service industry. Sometimes,
especially in the American service industry.
Yeah, right. But then people would go, what about people who just make less than them all told? Why are we targeting this particular group of people? I believe it's because it's a big group of people. And it's a group of people who are, a lot of them right there in the 18 to 34 age bracket, which is a good one to go after. Anybody who's looking at an election wants free pizza. What's my free pizza? What am I going to get? I hear all the dumb stances on all the culture war stuff, but I think normies, regular people, they care about kitchen table issues. They care about the economy. They care about things that actually have an impact on them. And if they work in the service industry, they'll be like, you hear this? Trump said no tax on tips. Really? All right. And now you're like, oh, we're in luck, babe. Kamala said no tax on tips. Things are shaping up for us here.
Just wait until no one does it.
So we got the idea that why are you separating these people out? Why are they getting the tax break, the service industry workers? Then you have the idea that this would actually be bad for people in the service industry because you're paying less into Social Security, et cetera, which makes sense. But usually the service industry for most people is a job on a journey. Some people get really good jobs at bars and restaurants where they can make a killing, and then that could become a permanent job for forever. If you work at the French Laundry, you work in the service industry, but you're doing okay. You're bringing home a pretty good paycheck, and it's not like a transitory job option. So people think it could be bad for you in the long run. Why are you picking these people out? Or like you're giving the business a break somehow. A lot of people I see, they're like, if you want to do something good, we need the businesses to pay them more an hourly wage, right? It's the ongoing march to keep lifting the minimum wage up to, I don't know what it is this week, 20, 30, 40, 50, the magical number that fixes all the problems. I don't know what is actually the best move here, honestly. I know politically it's a good move to tell all these people no tax on tips, but I'm open to some arguments on this to see if anybody has any other angles. So if you do, send me an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or a dispatch, because now this is a bipartisan thing. Everybody's trying to get on board with no tax on people's tips.
Somebody had the argument yesterday. I forget whether it was a dispatch or a text or something. It might have been on the chat. That then, other businesses would like pivot to use stuff as tips instead of bonuses to avoid having to, pull tax on that. I don't even know if that would be possible. But like, I don't. If you're a venture
gift card,
you're a VC firm, you can't like all of a sudden start reporting tips.
You could easily write that into whatever law it was. The legislation could simply say this means for this exact group of people, I think. Here's Adolf with a dispatch for us.
Hey, Sean. After you slayed that ghost for your girl, did Courtney at least thank you? I mean, to be a fly on that wall that night, oh, man.
You weirdo, sir. How dare you? But maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. I was tequilaed up, too. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now.
Was he asking what I think he was asking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. And he wanted to be a fly on the wall for that. Huh?
Yeah, he wanted to watch. He just wanted to sit there at that hotel in Tallahassee, just watching what was going on. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to those dispatches. We'll find out what's going on with an ABC on-air talent in Australia. They had a bit of a panic attack live on air. We'll revisit that with them and a whole lot more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
You can call me Puzzle Master.
Definitely not going to do that.
How about Big Daddy?
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Authorities are still working on that accident on State Road 434 westbound before Palm Springs Drive. There's an accident on Silver Star Road at Houston Avenue, and still a bit of delays on I-4 eastbound approaching State Road 429 there. There's off-ramp backup from the Greenway southbound to Colonial Drive and intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James.
This report is sponsored by Jeff Martin Auctioneers. Jeff Martin Auctioneers is back with a two-day public auction in Kissimmee, August 20th and 21st, featuring construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Bid your way live on site or online at jeffmartinauctioneers.com. Experience the difference. License AU 4483.
This is very exciting. That mortgage guy, Don, also does commercial and small business administration loans. So if you have an existing SBA loan with a rate of 9% or more, you are in luck. That mortgage guy, Don, can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Don't leave money on the table. Get the money back in your hands where it belongs by working with That Mortgage Guy Don. Go to the website, thatmortgageguyDon.com, to get the process started today.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don. Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Genentech Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Testosterone, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Genentech Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Genentech Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
We can't always hide from storm season, and Fence Outlet wants you to be safe in a storm. Did you know using a simple padlock or zip tie can help to stop your gates from slamming in the wind and causing damage to your fence? For more tips from Florida's #1 fence company, visit fenceoutlet.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind. If you've been in a car accident, you need to know a term. It's called statute of limitations. That means you have 2 years from the time of the accident to actually file a lawsuit if need be. If you don't do that, you're going to lose your rights to the claim. Now, sometimes some lawyers will wait till the last minute to file or contact you with just about a month left saying that they don't know if they want to proceed with your case. Be careful with that. For more information, contact me at whenyounneedus.com or dial #546, office or line.
Hey, cutie pies, Real Radio has your chance to go to Vegas for our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Keep listening for the keywords 3 times a day. And a little birdie just told me there might be one coming up very soon. So once you hear that keyword, text it to 200-200. As always, remember to answer your phone if you want to win. This contest is presented locally by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
In this week's Marketers Report, Dana Nussbaum, Executive Vice President, Worldwide Marketing at Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on regional audio marketing and the movies.
Everything that we are doing is incredibly data-driven. We are getting signals in every single day about how specific audiences are performing. So although we're marketing at a very broad scale, and that does include specific local markets, that's really the beauty of iHeart's network. You're not serving the same message to a consumer in Nashville necessarily that you may be in New York. You have the ability to be very specific and very personalized, but at a tremendous scale.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Radio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics, brought so many memorable moments.
Look, Captain America putting the country on his back.
And you heard it on iHeartRadio. Relive all the amazing moments and stories of the 2024 Paris Olympics on 3 epic podcasts: The Podium, In the Village, and 2 Guys, 5 Rings. Open the free iHeart app, search Olympics, and start listening now.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
Is that the college-educated elites in the institutions are trying to dumb down this country. I think they want people to be dumber. They want a bigger separation between the upper class and the lower class. Class issues are really, truly the most important thing that divides us in this country. But I think people who are among the elites want to dumb down everybody else. And with everybody going back to school, I thought it was interesting. I saw posted on social media this week this throwback.
Facebook,
my God.
Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this?
Kind of cool to look over this. This is an 8th grade examination for kids back in 1912. All right? Way back when.
All right.
In school in 1912, they would take this test. In 8th grade, when you're 8th grade, you're still a little kid. You're not even up into high school yet. You're a middle schooler and you're little. And when I was going over this, whether it be the spelling, the reading, the arithmetic, the grammar, all of these things, I was like, I don't think the average 8th grade kid would drill these right now. For instance, the average 8th grader, do I think they can locate Turkey, Greece, Serbia, Montenegro, and Romania on a map?
Could the average 20, 30-year-old do that?
Probably not. No, I wouldn't think so. I think most people have a real hard time with geography and maps.
Just looking at this, like, what a bore.
This is what they taught them.
Forever.
Yeah, this was like the 8th grade test. And here's some questions on this. How does the liver compare in size with other glands in the human body? Where is it located? What does it secrete? Name
Where
the
do
organs
they write
of
the answers, first of all?
Nowhere. The organs of circulation. Describe the heart. Define cerebrum and cerebellum. 8th graders don't know this anymore because we've dumbed down a lot of the education system. And we've picked up really stupid things that I don't even know why Common Core became such a widely accepted theory that they were going to use. And I don't think that 8th graders would pass this test from 1912. It's just,
I think adults would. Let's be
difficult.
honest.
Yeah, but that furthers the problem. That highlights what I'm saying. If kids right now in 8th grade couldn't pass this and adults couldn't, then what has happened since 18 or 12? 1912. What has happened since then with our education system?
Oh, my gosh. Sketch briefly Sir Walter Raleigh and Peter Stuyvesant. Are we supposed to sketch them as in, like, draw what their face look like?
Not.
That's exactly what I would have done. Now, it is... I could see where the argument of dumbing it down comes in. But also maybe devil's advocate, change in society, maybe realizing that this wasn't necessary.
Oh, history is important, though.
No, I'm not saying... I'm saying it just a lot of...
Or grammar. This is everything.
Sure, Sean, but there's other stuff in there where it's like... Why would every single adult need to know it versus is it something that you focus on the college level because that's what you're going to do and contribute to society?
I guess that depends on what the point of school is, right? Like, to me, the point of school is to set you up to be a successful adult. And to do that, there are some things that you're going to need and some things you're not going to need.
Oh, wow, talking about pronouns back in the day.
But probably there's going to be things that you're overtaught out of an abundance of caution. Like, I learned all sorts of math in school that I've never used again, as all of us have. You leave that stuff behind. But I think that it's important in those ages that you push kids and get them to know things like this.
And I do not disagree. It's just looking at that, it's very overwhelming.
It's
and
a
then
lot.
you also wonder in 1912, it's like, what else? What other options did you have besides like your studies and school? And nowadays there is other parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're looking at when you woke up, you did your studies, you went to school, you did the test. Then when you got home, you did your studies or you worked on the farm, and then you had a family and rinse and repeat.
Oh, back in 1912, probably the farm would be involved. You weren't commuting into a city to go to like a regular ass job right now.
Ask one of these questions. I'm ready.
Okay. I don't have the answers here. It's one of the problems.
I'm going to say a
give her some of the spelling ones.
No.
Okay. Oh, these are not easy. I'm not going to.
All right, go.
All right. I'll give you an easy one.
How did they give us spelling? Did they I guess the teacher prompted.
They must have read that
right?
out loud. Yeah. Okay.
I'm already.
All right.
I feel anxious.
Creature is your spelling word. That's an easy one.
Okay, come on.
You want a harder one?
Okay.
I'll give you a harder one. All right. What about chandelier? The song's not going to help you.
She spells it in the third verse.
She is.
No.
All right.
C-H.
Mm-hmm.
A.
Mm-hmm.
C-H-A. I hate spelling so much.
See? This is hard,
but
is it
I
not?
also have dyslexia of the mind. When I try to see it, C-H-A-N-D-E-I. I already messed up.
C-H-A...
No, I before E.
N-D-E-L-I-E-R.
That's correct. That is indeed how you spell
Whatever.
chandelier.
I don't want to do this anymore. Stupid idea.
You want to
Give
do
me
some
another
arithmetic? Let's do some arithmetic
Give me another
off the
one.
cuff.
Give me
That'll be
another
great.
one. I'm ready. Come on.
Oh, no. All right. It's very, very hard when you look at this compared to, I'd love to see an 8th grade entrance or exit exam now to compare it to this.
I'm sure it's online.
Now, some of the things would be like, okay, obviously it would be more important for you to know something in 1912 that happened in the 1800s that you wouldn't necessarily need to know as much in 2024. Those things would move around, but I think we should be challenging kids more. They're just doing a lot of passing kids. That is something that's absolutely been happening out there. Meanwhile, as promised, ABC News in Australia, they were doing their morning show when one of their colleagues had a panic attack during his report.
I saw this morning,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have I was a little thrown by how this was addressed.
Nate Byrne, this is the guy's name. And
not saying that I think he definitely had a panic attack, but it was the on the ready part of it that I am a little thrown by.
He's really rocking that shirt he's wearing. It's loud,
tight.
But yeah, it's a little tight, a little loud.
Big falls right through that part of the country, and we're going to see lots more rain in the days ahead. I'm actually going to need to stop for a second. Some of you may know that I occasionally get affected by some panic attacks, and actually that's happening right now. Lisa, maybe I could hand back to you.
You certainly can, Nate. And Nate wrote a great piece on the ABC online website.
No, say it ain't so.
Unless they have a
real?
button ready to go,
Is that how it actually aired from his panic attack to the...
Now, the way he's speaking, you can certainly hear. You can hear in his breath that something's happening. His mouth's going dry, heavy breathing. He very well could be having a panic attack. But
it makes no sense. He's having a panic attack going into the promo for a story about him having a live panic attack on TV?
I think this is edited.
Or it's edited. Let's try that one more time. Let's just see. Hold on.
Got big falls
This is a TikTok.
right through that part of the country, and we're going to see lots more rain in the days ahead. I'm actually going to need to stop for a second. Some of you may know that I occasionally get affected by some panic attacks, and actually that's happening right now. Lisa, maybe...
So Lisa, he's throwing it back to Lisa. Is this
I
lady
can hand
Lisa?
back to you.
You certainly can, Nate. And Nate wrote a great piece.
No, that's how it happened. She said you certainly can, Nate. What are the chances that you have a panic attack in the run-up to the promotion for your story about having a live panic attack on television?
Or maybe they're like, if this ever happens, you say it.
Wait, keep
We'll
playing.
be ready.
Keep playing.
It's like it's the image.
ABC.
All right, hold on. Let's see what she says.
The online website about this, and I reckon we might re-up it because it's fantastic that he has been so open and transparent about it. And the response when he first wrote about it and spoke about it.
That's weird, a screenshot ready. That's odd.
Yeah.
It is odd.
That's like C-Lane right now going into a sneezing fit and me going, I got you, C-Lane. Folks, if you go to our website right now, C-Lane wrote a piece about dealing with sneezing attacks on the radio.
Okay.
And just so happens that I've got the graphics and everything all ready to go to promote this thing.
Given technology, though, that it is very possible, just like, C-Lane has his buttons in front of him that we don't know what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They could have that button ready to go.
I mean, there's a lot more people in the control room.
It's not like buy his book.
There's a lot more people in a control room for a morning news show like this than there is in this room. So I would think that maybe there's somebody that has access to a still store that can just type the word panic attack, and that's one of the things that comes up, and like quick
poster child
drag it over.
Yeah, I don't know. That seemed too quick to me. That seemed a little bit set up there. Let us know what you think. Eric on YouTube says, I wonder what a panic attack feels like. All you have to do is drink for 5 days straight. When on the 6th day, you have to give a speech in front of a whole bunch of people, and the Sunday scaries hit you, and then it'll just, the rest happens from there. It'll just sort itself out, and you'll get to experience a real blast.
But at least you got to drink for 5 days straight. That's on.
I know, yeah. Can't forget that part. That's a good time right there. All right, let's work in some of your dispatches and see what you got going on in your world right now. You are welcome to toss yours out there. Just go to thenewsjunkie.com and fire off a dispatch to us like this one. Here's Kansas Mermaid 5 with a dispatch.
I have been in the food and beverage industry for many, many years. And I currently work in a bar at Disney where the only thing I do is make drinks for servers.
All right.
So my paycheck, when I receive it, shows I'm kind of taxed almost 3 times. The first tax comes from me being paid an hourly rate.
Okay.
So I get taxed on all of that. Then my next one is any cash that the servers give me. They put it into a system. Now, if they put in the full amount, they do. If they don't, they don't. But regardless, I get tipped that way, and I get taxed on that as well. And then lastly, anytime a server gives me gratuity, then I get taxed on that as well. So that's almost 3 times I'm getting taxed on 3 different forms of income coming into me.
All right, interesting. Thank you, Kansas Mermaid. It's complicated because
she's getting taxed on.
She's getting taxed on when she gets paid her hourly rate.
Right.
When she gets a cash tip that comes in, they have to put it into the system, and then they get taxed on that.
They're supposed to put it in the system.
Yes, and she's like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, is what she was alluding to. And then she was saying if the servers tip her out, because strangely enough, in that job, you have like many revenue streams. You have like your hourly wage, which is not a lot. You have your tips, which is going to be more. And then you have you're getting tipped out by servers. So one job, at least 3 different revenue streams you have coming in, I guess.
But that doesn't sound like, yeah, she's listing 3 different things that get taxed, but it's all at the same rate, right?
Yeah, and most people, hell, if you make under $40,000, you don't pay much in taxes to begin with.
No.
People who make under that amount over the course of the year, you may pay in all these taxes, but then the tax refund that you're going to get around refund time almost always gobbles most of that back up.
I'm just saying, like, to counter her argument, if you were to split my paycheck into 3 paychecks and tax the 3 of them, I'm not making any less money, right?
As long as they're taxed at the same rate, which I would think that they would be, then it would just be a different way to do the same thing. Here's Susan with a dispatch.
Back in the day when I waited tables, I claimed 10% of my sales, and that was the only tax I paid.
You might not want to say that on air, just for the record. Susan C. will never tell you her last name. She's saying she didn't claim all of the monies that came in from taxes. And I'm sure that happens from time to time with people in the industry. Let's do one more real quick. Here is B-Dobbs.
Happy Tuesday, junkies.
Hey.
On the topic of ghost in a hotel room,
well, this guy
or
no
any
ghost
building for that matter. Man, I've been trying to talk to these ghosts for years, and they're rude. Never talk back.
You would know.
Hey. Never move anything, never turn any lights on, never give me any signs. Great listeners. Terrible at holding a conversation, though.
Yeah, true. Very true. He works at a, what do you call it? Dobbs Funeral Home, I believe is the name of it. And B-Dobbs has a family with much experience in this world.
Do you still call that?
He would have the stories.
You still call that job an undertaker, right? He's an undertaker?
I don't know. I'm not sure what his official title would be.
A funeral director.
Funeral director, undertaker. Is that the same thing by a different name?
The undertaker processes the body.
I almost exclusively associate undertaker with a wrestler.
the undertaker processes the body. The funeral director processes the credit card of the loved one.
The business side versus the service side. I see. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. Avendisora on Twitch says, I worked in a restaurant for many years with a British owner and a British accountant. We calculated the exact amount we would legally have to claim at the end of every shift. They never caught on because they're British and know nothing about the tipping system. Got one over on them. Okay, when we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
Sean, I'm so glad you asked. What's coming up on the next episode? The VMAs are changing the date of the award show, I believe under the guise that they think people actually watch it. Adele weighs in on the Olympics and gives her kind of own gold medal to the one person who was very far from the real one. Plus, you're never going to believe what the people from the Breaking Bad house have said. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Heat is the name of the game today. Our high 95, feeling like 107. There's a 40% chance for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Any storms will pack frequent cloud ground lightning, so be careful. Now, we've got a higher chance for rain for tomorrow and Thursday associated with a weak front, so be weather aware during the afternoons. It'll dry out for the end of the week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance
insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening.
Bootsy on Twitch saying, did we talk about the Trump-Elon interview? The X one, the Twitter one? Yeah, mostly just yawn. It wasn't any excitement. The Trump one versus the black journalist thing was epic. There was a lot of fireworks, a lot of unscripted good stuff. That was just kind of two dudes who agree with each other on a lot of stuff.
Dudes. It sounded like you said doo-doo.
No, two dudes who agree with each other on a lot of political issues, chatting with each other, which is fine, but it doesn't bring a lot of drama that I'm interested in necessarily. It just
rather
brings
listen
a
to
conversation.
Smartless if I'm going to listen to a bunch of friends talk.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they got to get away from the politics from time to time.
Or the news junkie.
Nice.
Look at that.
Good move.
With the camera pose. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next...
On thatmortgageguydon.com, and of course the Home Loans Radio Show. Refinancing, buying your first dream home. Perhaps you want to see that you are pre-approved for the Hometown Heroes program and get some down payment assistance. Well, work with the man, the legend, your best friend by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Ready to feel old?
Maybe
27 years ago.
Ooh, can I guess?
You already saw it?
I know. Yeah.
Is it a guess
know.
then?
It's not really a guess. It's cheating.
I don't know. 27 years ago.
27 years ago. Ooh.
97?
Yeah, 97. You're right. That was quick math, man. I'm just going to give you that and see if you can guess it. If not, C-Lane gets the point.
Give me something.
I
give
can't
me a
give you
little
anything.
nugget.
I can't. All right.
TV show.
Yeah.
Seinfeld?
No. Someone's getting probed.
Friends? Oh, anal probe. Cartman. Cartman gets an anal probe. South Park. South Park episode. Whoops.
Such joy. But yeah, it was on this day 27 years ago that Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Tell me where I was wrong, all right?
No, you were right.
That's
Animated brilliance, South Park debuted. I'm going to split that point, but half a point for Sean.
Sean gets the whole point for
The
that.
whole
That was
point and the whole
brilliant.
probe. Yeah, so the first episode, gently titled Cartman Gets an Anal Probe. And since then, 27 years later, here we are. They're not doing any more episodes, though, right? They're still doing just the specials? No other seasons that we know
I don't think
of?
they're on I don't think they're on the schedule that they used to be, which was kind of backbreaking.
Also confusing because they have the Ozempic one was on a completely different platform than the COVID episode, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the new stuff that they release comes out on Paramount Plus, but the other material is on Max, like the older seasons. So it is very confusing.
Yeah. Very sad news, unfortunately.
What happened?
This is from my time. But we must bid adieu to one of the great voices of this show here. Pokemon is right, and it looks like the Grim Reaper caught one of them. And that is the movie actress and the voice behind Misty and Jessie, which is 2 points. What characters? What team? What was it called? Double Trouble.
Team Gujomon.
Nope, that is so far away from it. Team Rocket. Now,
Team Rocket.
Celine, you didn't watch Pokemon?
No. He was a Power Rangers guy. That's what he was into.
I mean, I was into Power Rangers as well. Also, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All I know is Ash and Pikachu. Those are the big names in that world that I know.
Misty was the best friend. Brock was also another guy that... Brock.
Oh, Brock. Brock. Okay.
Yeah, and then Team Rocket was...
Well, that's who Obama was named after.
Right.
What a twist.
So she has passed away after a battle with cancer. Her friend and fellow Pokemon actor, Veronica Taylor, had announced the news earlier this week, revealed that she died August 10th, and adds that thanks to Lilith's fans from her family, and writes that a memorial is being planned for a future date.
Damn.
The first Pokemon park came all the way back in 1999 in Pokemon the First movie. And I want to be very clear, this was the topic of the Ambra household for the longest time.
Pokemon?
Toys R Us sent a promotional VHS just to talk about the cards that were going to be at Toys R Us.
Those were big.
We watched that VHS over and over and over and over and over again.
Damn.
And it was all fake characters. And then when the show came out, that was the go-to. When the movie it was a whole family ordeal. Anyways, she was a pivotal part of it. And she not only was the voice behind Misty and Jessie, but Vulpix, Venonat, Goldeen, and Jigglypuff, you guys.
Damn, Jigglypuff.
Yeah, dude. She would also portray all the same roles in Pokemon, the movie 2000. That introduced what character? You guys don't know, Mewtwo. Moving on.
Never would have got that.
I'm sorry?
I said never would have got that.
Not in a million years.
I did catch a Mewtwo or two on the app when that phenomenon happened.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I think so. Aren't those just the regular?
Very rare. No.
Oh, what's the Squirtle Turtle guy? I think I caught a bunch of him.
Right. But not Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a very rare Pokemon.
I don't know.
Holographics all day.
Already screwed up this whole thing.
In Paris, we witnessed the Olympics and a lot of great athletes and almost superhuman, some would say. We had that one guy whose genitals got caught in the pole vaulting situation. Some of the other highlights included, I believe, a swimmer who thought that she was swimming with some poo-poo. But the biggest star, obviously, was Ray Gunn.
Yes, the break dancer. That's right.
And of all people to back that up, this guy right here. This guy right here.
Cash Adele. Oh, Adele, yeah.
Kesha.
I don't know. That
Adele
sounds like
is right.
a Kesha song.
Wake up in the morning. Oh, no, it's Adele. And Adele was doing her old concert thing, and she decided this is the German residency show. She's out of Vegas. She asked the crowd if they'd seen the breakdancing lady, and that's not her accent at all. She called her effing fantastic and said, "That's the best thing that's happened in the Olympics the entire time."
Damn.
It's a big statement. A lot of people, Adele could not
there were some people who won. And there was some amazing performances.
She said it made her very, very happy, and said that me and my friends have been essing ourselves laughing for 24 hours straight. The breakdancing will not return for the 2028 Summer Olympics.
Brutal.
Which is very, very sad indeed. But, yeah, congratulations, especially to Ray Gun. Let's get a hold of her. This is a very interesting story that just popped up, but the 2024 MTV Video Music Awards are headed our way. Did you know that that's still happening?
I did not, no.
They were supposed to be September 10th, but of course we got something else that's on the docket. And that's the big debate.
They're going to move away from that then, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
so that 12 more people will watch them.
Well, tell me this. Will it be 12 more people? Because they have changed the event, the 2024 MTV Video Music Awards, to September 11th.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Does that guarantee a massive September 11th tribute during the MTV?
Last year, they had their highest rated VMAs in 3 years, this says.
Really? What happened?
I don't even remember what was going on to draw people in, but they said 865,000 people tuned in. And then when you add, because you know what they do now? They don't just put they don't put something on MTV. They put it on MTV, BET, CMT, Comedy Central, Paramount. And across every channel ever, it was 3.9 million viewers.
Damn.
So
well,
that's not bad, but it still used to be way bigger.
I guess we'll see what happens on September 11th. And happy birthday, C-Lane. You got an award.
Could be the craziest September 11th ever.
Also, I will be overseas during both the debate and the MTV VMA Awards.
I'd be
what
curious.
time I think I have to watch or wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I would be curious what a debate looks like overseas. Like, are people watching it? Do they care?
I don't know.
I'll let you guys know.
Italy is 6 hours ahead of where we are now, so you'd be plus 6.
I want to get on the show with you guys. I'll be talking to you at 9 o'clock at night? 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
I'm not here to do math.
Uh-huh.
The people who own the house belonging were featured on this show.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is right. And the owners, they always come around because they're like, stop throwing pizzas on our roof. And
She is not fond of the show, I don't think.
she hates when people come by to take pictures or have pizzas, apparently.
Oh, they built a giant gate in front of the house, which is weird because it's like a normal ass neighborhood. Like, imagine a house in my neighborhood or your neighborhood that would have just this big gate in front of it to keep people off the property.
Well, now she's complaining, saying that we didn't even get paid millions for the show or the house to be featured on the show.
That's what they're mad about.
We only got paid the location fee, one-time fee, in and out. That's it. Didn't say how much they got, but according to one expert, location fees can range from $12,000 to $1 million a year. So that lasted 5 seasons. I think it's a pretty good payday. I wouldn't mind a couple pizzas on my roof for $1 million a year.
Yeah, that's not bad.
On the
For how many years?
5 seasons.
Oh.
So whatever that amount is. 5 years? I'll go with that. Also, if you want to find yourself at the Sphere, they spent a lot of millions, $80 million exactly, on adapting it to have this played.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz, a Sphere-sized experience for the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So they don't have the date just yet, but they certainly have the number. No, they don't. I guess it's going to be sometime in 2025 or 26, and I'll go with that. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra, $0. But most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day. Thank you, Sabrina. When we come back, we got some emails to address. One of them is a spicy email incoming, and a big bombshell in RFK Jr.'s campaign. This is going to change everything, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
A limited number of poker seats for the Real Radio Poker Tournament are now up for auction. Get the details at realradio.fm/poker.
There's a couple accidents to keep an eye out for this afternoon. I-4 eastbound near State Road 408. The right lane is partially blocked there. There's a disabled vehicle on I-4 westbound before Colonial Drive. You could still expect those delays on I-4 eastbound approaching State Road 429. And watch out for an accident on Powers Drive northbound near Clarkona-Ocoee Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
Frank Gay Services has something cool for you. Keep your AC running smoothly with our expert service. Experienced, professional, friendly, and speedy care that earned us thousands of 5-star reviews. That's the Frank Gay way. Visit frankgayservices.com or call for details.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Are you ready to sell your commercial real estate and cash in on your investment? Don't wait. With the market heating up, buyers are eager and the selling opportunities are endless. Our expert team at Transworld will help you get the best deal for your property. We handle everything from listing to closing so you can focus on what matters most to you. Call Transworld Commercial Real Estate at 800-205-7605 or visit transworldcre.com. Again, that's transworldcre.com. Call today to schedule a consultation. Our dedicated professionals will provide a free property assessment and a customized marketing plan to attract the right buyers. One more time, call Transworld Commercial Real Estate at 800-205-7605 or transworldcre.com.
Here's what a Fence Outlet customer said about her experience.
After researching several fence companies, my husband and I decided to go with Fence Outlet. They gave us several fencing options and were quick with responses and ideas. They even offered 0% financing for 12 months, which was huge for us. We are loving our Fence Outlet fence that adds to the beauty of our home and security for our family.
Thank you, Fence Outlet.
Go to fenceoutlet.com today. Financing with approved credit. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. You know, August is National Wellness Month, and we want to celebrate that by getting as many of you guys over to Life Imaging FLA for their free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And the numbers don't lie, man. In 30 to 40% of heart attacks, the very first symptom is sudden death. These guys at Life Imaging FLA are all about proactive prevention. And I want to encourage each one of you to explore their full body cancer screening as well. When you consider that 40% of adults will get cancer at some point in their life, early detection can save your life. Get that ultimate peace of mind with proactive screening. And remember, there are no dyes or injections. You don't have to take your clothes off. The entire process takes only 10 minutes. Guys, take a few minutes. Do what I did. Do what my wife did. Do what our in-laws did. Get with Life Imaging FLA right now and get your free heart scan. And it's easy to make your appointment. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250. Just say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that appointment today. It could change your life forever. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
You know the biggest hassle with selling your home with the Nickley Group? Figuring out where to put the sofa in your new home, because your old home won't be on the market for long. TNG listings sell 2 times faster and for an average of 6% more. Why wait around hoping your home will sell in time for you to move into your new place? Trust the experts at the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty to get your home listed, shown, and sold. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today at thenickley.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office, Orlando.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword music to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's music to 200-200.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
your emails in just a moment here. I saw somebody asked President Biden, who's just like lame duck president right now.
Hey, come on, man.
Just occupying the White House for a little while
First
here.
things first.
Kicking up his feet, hanging out, and waiting to see who wins. And they said, if Trump wins, what are you going to do? Will you attend the inauguration? And Biden said, I will. He said if Trump wins, he would. He said, Biden said when he was departing the White House for New Orleans that he would attend the inauguration if Trump were to be elected because he has manners, unlike Trump. I wonder, though, if it came down to it, would he actually be there?
That's the presidential thing to do, is it not?
That's how it always has been. It always has been that the other presidents like go, all right, hello, see you later. You know, we had like really nice transfers of power for the most part, relatively speaking. FDR really wanted to hold on for quite a while there, but you had pretty much a seamless transition for that's what I was getting at. We had pretty much seamless transition for a whole slew of presidents, and then now things seem to have changed. Obviously, January 6th shows you that it's not a smooth transition. And then, as far as I recall, President Trump, I don't think was at Biden's inauguration. I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe he was there. I thought that he was saying he was going to skip it, and I think that might have been one of his last tweets. Like on Twitter, he's like, for those asking, blah, 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 you know. So Biden is saying that he would be there if Trump won come November. Obviously, that would be Inauguration Day, which would be next year. But we shall see how that all goes. Over to the emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com and JoJo Bite emails. Subject, Sabrina Monday show, this says. It says, I'm aware that Sheen, that's a rough one for me, Shean, not even a scene on that one. I'm aware that Sheen likes to get Sabrina a little riled up for good radio. But at 36 minutes into Monday's show, Sean was talking about an audio clip of Trump, and I feel Sabrina was getting extremely defensive and short with Sean, this time Schon. So I'm really getting kicked to the name department here. Leading up to this.
Listed as,
what? The phone autocorrects.
I only got one right. There was Shean and then Schon. There was one perfect one in the middle of that.
Uh-huh.
The show came to a screeching halt. Thank God for Amy. And I'm sure you got a tongue lashing from someone.
What?
I'll stop there. What do you mean by that? Tongue lashing from somebody like you think like management got angry? Or like... I don't understand. Would somebody possibly listen to a segment like that and think that we get in trouble? Because no, nobody even talks about that. We don't have anybody talk to us about a back and forth like that. So no, I'm trying my best to come at this from a place of compassion and empathy. It felt like Sean stepped into a bear trap with this topic, and I don't think that's fair to him. I think he's extremely even-keeled and based. He's a whale biologist. Look it up. I don't know what that means.
Did he spell whale right?
Whale, yes. Whale is W-H-A-L-E. He's got that one nailed. Growing up, I heard the saying, believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. It's okay to be confident at times and wrong in others. I think it's really cool when you whistle, Sabby. I wish I could do it like you. Love the show. Sabrina is still my favorite. Sorry for the grammar. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop, Jesus. Says JoJo.
I would start off the email with, sorry about my grammar, because we just ripped you apart, and I feel a little bit bad about it.
Did you go back and listen to that audio after we talked about it on the show? And if so, did the version that was posted change your mind at all?
No.
No to the latter or the former?
It did not change my mind, no.
But you did go back and listen to the other version of the audio. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think people just, sometimes it's a litmus test.
Yeah,
people hear stuff like that, and it goes in line with what they're expecting. And for me,
oh my God. See, when you do like little lines like that, though, it's just like, it's just heard differently. And it's not going in line with what I expected. It's just, I think that it's saying something else, and we just have to agree to disagree.
Okay. Yeah, I disagree on that one. I think it was, I think what happens sometimes is like, if Trump does 53 things and the 53rd was like, you're like, I actually wasn't guilty of that one. And if you say that, a lot of people is, wow, I know everything. You must be like rabidly anti-Trump on all fronts. And I think that's dumb. I don't want to be that way. I want to like take each individual circumstance and pull it apart and see what's inside.
But to be clear, that's not what I'm doing.
I mean, maybe you just hear it that way. I didn't hear it that way. I don't think C-Lane heard the word bitch in there. I could be wrong. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I didn't hear bitch. He said she's pathetic. I heard she's pathetic. She's effing bad.
Yeah.
And then he started talking about Biden again. Imagine if he was like
talking to the premier of China or whatever. Yeah. And it went on to run down Biden. I just don't think that was the audio that people were pitching it as. And I also
think the version that you posted or you retweeted, who was the guy that you retweeted?
Yashar Ali.
Yashar Ali did some stuff to try and make it sound clearer. Mm-hmm. And I think it obfuscated the speech a little bit. I think if you scroll down and just watch the video of him sitting in the golf cart, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I just don't hear the words that a lot of other people are hearing. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. But no, nobody talked to us. There's not, this is just, it's going to happen on the show sometimes. We're going to disagree. Sabrina and I have completely different views of certain things. So obviously that's going to happen.
Child's play. You thought that was a fight? Go back.
Yeah. On certain things. Yeah, but for me, all right, and I'm not passing judgment on you here. I don't mind disagreeing with people. Like, I don't mind being at odds with somebody. Like, I see it this way and you see it this way. Sometimes that's not the case with other people. Sometimes it's like, now there's going to be tension because we disagree on this. That's the way.
That guy that thinks Sabrina and I are far too left?
Yes.
I'm just going to stop listening to the show because you're so left.
Okay.
Well, I was surprised at that email. You guys still don't think that was surprising. I was like, I don't see a lot of this coming in, but here we are. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Just say anonymous. I thought this said it. Oh, anonymous, yes. Tax attorney here. Oh, you're going to like this, C-Lane. C-Lane was 100% right about the Kansas Mermaids dispatch. She isn't taxed 3 times. She's taxed once, but she has 3 income streams, says anonymous, who is in the business of doing this stuff. Over to Sharkbait, who says, hi, Sean and Junkies. Sean, you're hurting my feelings over here. You have said my dispatch name wrong and referred to me as a guy a few times. I can verify that I am indeed female. I am Sharkbait. Thank you, Hart, says Sharkbait. Well, thank you.
I think you called her Sharkbite last time.
Sharkbait, Sharkbite. The problem is I'll see a name and I'll attach it to like a masculine or feminine. There's a bunch of people in chat with that too. And I'll just think because of the username, this is a man or this is a woman. And every once in a while, there'll be somebody with what seems like a masculine username. And you go, oh, sorry. So Sharkbait, I don't know. I got you wrong there. I apologize for that. I'll think of that moving forward.
Think of the naked lady in Jaws that gets eaten by the shark. She is Sharkbait.
Mm-hmm. Shark,
and she's
naked
a lady.
Jaws, shark, naked lady, Jaws, Sharkbait. Got it. All right. That's locked in. Nancy emails the show to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
Nancy? Let's assume it's a female.
This is a woman, yes. A colleague of mine found an article that finally mentions a resort that the Oklahoma college kids were at when they were allegedly drugged. The article mentions that the Oklahoma college kids were staying at Planet Hollywood Resort in Cancun. That is accurate, yes. This story has hoax written all over it, in my opinion, especially after seeing the photo shoot with the girls holding hands after they passed out. The hospital photos of the girl caressing her boyfriend's hand while he's holding sushi. The photos seem too staged and Instagram perfect.
This is a podcast listener.
Further, the vagueness in details, aside from the supposed cost of medical care and transport out of the country, also raises red flags, in my opinion. Please stay on top of this story and keep your listeners updated. I'm fully invested in learning more. Same here, and we'll see where this goes. I hope at least one news outlet will start being a little critical and will look at this with a different lens and say, well, hang on, are any of these things adding up here?
I forget if it was the Post or the Daily Mail, but the one where they're at the bar and they're slouched over next to their full waters is like, horrifying picture of the girls who were drugged. And I was like,
Yeah, and it could be, all right, I do not know, but it could be that they have made friendly with a reporter from the New York Post who the agenda is just to crank out these kind of stories and get people talking about stuff. And then the New York Post goes, you give me info, you give me details, I'll write it up much more in your favor.
Mom never got back to you?
Mom has not responded. I haven't sent her anything new. I don't want to bombard the lady. She responded to me initially, and then I sent her 2 messages. So I'll probably send one last one. But I have the feeling that I don't think she's confident in the story. I don't think that she'd be willing to join, because I'm going to ask all the questions that are on everybody's mind. And I would put the call out there for some of these outlets, media outlets, local where they are, and national, because they're doing an investigation now, to be a little more critical of this. I know it's so tempting when somebody goes, I was drugged at a resort, to just be like, everything you say from here is the gospel. People do that. But when I was going down that rabbit hole, I'll give you another example about how this goes. I saw a woman's story. Okay, she wrote her story online, on Reddit, on a thread of people having issues at these resorts where they felt like they were drugged. She says, I had one drink, and I only had a couple of sips of it. And then next thing you know, I woke up and I was on the ground and I was injured, and my boyfriend is in the same position, and we know that we were drugged by this resort. And then they charged our cards $524, yada, yada, yada. And I said, damn, that's a damning statement right there. You're saying you only had one sip of a drink. You didn't even have a whole drink. So how could you have gotten so drunk that you ended up passing out and then thinking that you got drugged, like so many of these other cases are of people going to Cancun or other resorts? Then somebody noticed that this woman had left a bad review for the resort previous to this post, and the bad review mentioned nothing of this, but she had gotten into a fight with the resort, after which she had decided to go to other platforms and add in this part about her being drugged. The first part was about her being ripped off and the bill being too expensive. All of these stories just crumble under any scrutiny, and the Cancun one does for me too. And I hope I'll do my best to put the lady's feet to the fire, put the daughter, more importantly. The mom's just kind of being a mom. I don't necessarily blame her for anything. But what do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com on your phone, your laptop, whatever you got. Go over there and hit record on your very first dispatch right now. One of those coming up right now with Big T. He says, no Me Too for you, Sean.
Good after morning news junkies. Sean, no. Just no. Look, you're a smart guy, but stay in your lane. You don't know much about Pokemon, so don't even attempt it. You did not catch a Mewtwo in Pokemon Go in the short time that you did play the game, because at that time it was not released. So unless you played it for several years, you didn't have a chance. Sorry, buddy. Have several myself, including my perfect Shadow Mewtwo, which is my pride in enjoying the game.
A Shadow Mewtwo?
Still play it. 33 years old, know a bunch of people. My best friend Swilly still plays, and it's good fun. Gets you out there, gets you walking out and moving around. And,
That's good.
Things all good fun, meet good people. And with that, Big T.O., pop, peace.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's always funny for me to think about people still playing those games. Like, game explodes, it's super popular, it's a phenomenon, and then it disappears. Nobody wants to play it anymore. and some people hang on. And you're right. It was cool at the time. I did like how I was getting people outside. No, I don't know anything about Pokemon. I've never seen any of the movies or the TV shows.
I want to see the Shadow Mewtwo, though.
I don't even know what a Shadow Mewtwo is,
Mewtwo
honestly.
with a shadow, I believe.
I'm a One Piece guy. I'm going to say on the One Piece side of things,
2D.
superior to Pokemon. Manga with a great story. And they did a Netflix series on it, too. And they did like the traditional one, and then the Netflix did a reboot on those. Pretty good time if you haven't caught any of that. When we come back, a 14-year-old in big trouble. We got to get to this RFK Jr. Super bad news for him that is coming up. Wait till you hear this. It's coming up next in the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, I'll give you my review of the new Deadpool movie. Saw it last night. Plus, we'll do What'd You Do That's New at 4 o'clock. Go over Scott Maxwell's choice. I have something cool for you as well. In the 5 o'clock hour, it's trivia up for grabs. Orlando Magical Dining dinner for 2. Plus, your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traffic has cleared up on I-4 eastbound approaching State Road 429. There's still a bit of delays between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. A couple accidents to watch out for on I-4 here. Eastbound near State Road 408, the shoulder's blocked. A disabled vehicle's off to the shoulder on I-4 westbound before Colonial Drive. And watch out for an accident on Silver Star Road westbound before Pine Hills Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st. T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Own the moment with the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. Wear timeless styles with technology that lets you listen to music, capture pictures and videos, live stream, make a hands-free call or text, and even ask Meta AI questions on the go, all while you stay present in the moment.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
Renewal by Andersen is having their end of summer sale, and it's hotter than the Florida sun, and that's saying something. Renewal by Andersen's windows combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather, which is more important than ever now that we're in the midst of the hurricane season, especially if you live on Florida's coast. Plus, everything is made in the USA. Now through August 31st, receive $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. And be one of the first 50 callers and receive a free True Scene screen upgrade. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Thinking about selling your home? Well, hold on to your packing tape. The Nickley Group can sell houses faster than you can find that one missing sock. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from the Nickley Group today. Visit thenickleyGroup.com.
Frank Gay Services has something cool for you. Keep your AC running smoothly with our expert service. Experienced, professional, friendly, and speedy care that earned us thousands of 5-star reviews. That's the Frank Gay way. Visit frankgayservices.com or call for details.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1932 $10 gold Indian coins have been found.
These gorgeous 1932 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1932 dated gold coin featuring Lady Liberty with an Indian war headdress and a majestic eagle. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1932 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 92 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-888-201-7635. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus over a $55 value free with every order. Call 1-888-201-7635 now to secure your 1932 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, Chief Marketing Officer of Hyundai Motor America, discusses measuring audio.
The measurement capability within audio, I think, surprised all of us, but all of it's been extremely helpful, and we have seen a huge return on our investment. The methodology by which we're approaching audio and then seeing the real results with real numbers has helped us continue to invest moving forward. One of the things that's been really important for us is to see the extension of reach to new audiences that we could not really speak to before. We get about a 20% lift adding audio to our overall portfolio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a marketing company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm John Walzak, host of the new podcast Missing in Arizona.
And I'm Robert Fisher, one of the most wanted men in the world.
We cloned his voice using AI. In 2001,
police say I killed my family and rigged my house to explode
before escaping into the wilderness.
Police believe he is alive.
Join me. I'm going down in the cave as I track down clues.
I'm going to call the police and have you removed.
Hunting.
One of the most dangerous fugitives in the world.
Robert Fisher.
Do you recognize my voice?
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Missing in Arizona.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Between the lines, far beyond legal and ethical limits, and under the surface.
Too dangerous or disruptive to the existing status quo.
Hosts Ben Bolin, Matt Frederick, and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't want you to know.
We've officially entered the age of biohacking.
History is riddled with unexplained events. Is somebody messing with us? Now, it's time for some answers.
Take us to the edge of the rabbit hole. We'll do the rest.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff They Don't Want You to Know and start listening.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
The biggest stories of the day in all their glory and insanity. You're listening to the news.
Just throw more of the kids in jail. I think we really need to embrace this. There's so many of these kids in this country that we just need to toss behind bars. That will give us a better outcome, I think. And I'll explain, because I've seen so many of these stories. I hate when I see a video and it's at like some gas station, some poor like new immigrant to this country running a gas station trying to get by, and 40 people bust in and all steal stuff simultaneously and knock over a bunch of things. And they're like, it was a flash mob. And I'm like, no, arrest them all. They're all criminals. The reason why they do this stuff is because they know they live in a city where they get away with it. They just don't prosecute people for doing this kind of stuff. You want to ruin a store? Open a store and sell clothes. And then when people shoplift from you, don't do anything. Just say, it's part of the game. People shoplift sometimes. Store. No idea that this is going to...
For the customers. Slash shoplifters.
So we're not going to prosecute anybody who comes in here and steals stuff. It's just going to be part of the losses that we expect. Everything's fine. Within 6 months, that's a hellhole. Nobody wants to work there. Nobody wants to shop there. Everything is stolen from there. You've brought in the worst types of people that you're attracting to this hellscape that you're creating. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Well, then you end up with those, Walgreens that we see that everything is locked up.
Yeah.
The people who actually need stuff. And you have one employee who's working with the master key. And it's like, this is not going to go well for business either.
Even just on an aesthetic level, I hate that. It's a hideous monstrosity to see a store with everything all locked up.
You know what's going to happen now is that you're going to have storefronts in which you do the same thing as what Amazon tried to do, but Brightline, I noticed, like their little convenience store, is that you scan your credit card, either on your phone or the actual insert.
Yep.
And then you go in and you can grab whatever you want and walk out because you're getting charged for it.
You don't have to scan anything anywhere?
Nothing.
Really?
And it's so funny watching people who are just
so confused.
I just walk out because you just scanned it. And that makes sense because I think everyone wins in the end. Minus, it's an insane price for a water, but okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to win over the grandmas with that one. I think they'll be so confused.
Do you take check? I don't. Where do I put it? What time is dinner?
So this story caught my attention.
I would have been confused on just walking in the door. Isn't that the handprint that you can use for that?
For what?
Do they have that?
For Brightline?
No. The
Amazon stores?
I was thinking the Amazon store.
Yeah, it would be very confusing for an older person, I think. But this story is what got me thinking about this. There's a 14-year-old kid in Ocala, Florida. He's a boy, but he needs to go to jail. And he needs to go to jail for a little while to think about things. I see these and I can just make a lot of assumptions that 90% of the time are true. I see 14-year-old boy with a history like this, and they say he's facing several criminal charges, carjacking with a firearm, possession of a firearm by a person younger than 18, improper exhibition of a firearm for a 14-year-old who not only did this, but did a whole lot more. And they said did not appear to have any remorse. 9 times out of 10, there are not two parents in this kid's life. 9 times out of 10, there is one overwhelmed parent who is either not doing a good job or trying as best they can and getting overrun by a kid who doesn't give a damn. So in that case, somebody else has to step up. And you have to show these kids that there's a punishment that they're not going to like when they do this. It says just after 10:30 p.m., a deputy with the Marion County Sheriff's Office was flagged down by the victim of a carjacking at a Circle K. He said the teenager emerged from behind a gas pump, pointing a handgun at his chest, and demanded that he hand over the keys. "Give me your keys, MFer," the teen told the man. That's when the 14-year-old stole the man's blue 2002 Chevy Tahoe and drove off on a highway after the man threw his keys into the driver's seat. Deputies found the stolen SUV about 10 minutes later, and the 14-year-old was taken into custody. The amazing thing that this 14-year-old was not harmed himself. He was not shot by a citizen who was not ready to be carjacked. There's a gun in the car, too, the teen is heard saying on body cam. And so they arrested him, right? And then you could treat him like a kid and go, oh, little slap on the wrist, and then get back out and do it again, or you can actually punish them. Said during an interview, the teenager admitted to the carjacking, smiled frequently, and did not appear to have remorse for his actions. He said he didn't know what caused him to decide to commit the armed carjacking. Deputies also spoke with the boy's mom, probably no dad in sight, who said she reported her son missing earlier that evening after she took his phone away for disciplinary reasons. The mom added that this caused the teen to destroy her house and throw tables. "We want to step in before this child is the next school shooter, before they're the next person to carjack somebody at 10:30 at night at a gas station. We want to try to find that," they said. His recently adjudicated issues are grand theft of a motor vehicle, battery on a law enforcement officer, felony criminal mischief, and disrupting school functions. A repeated history of this crap. But like all these other teenagers who do this stuff, they don't think they're going to get in trouble because stupid prosecutors don't prosecute them. They try to empty the jails instead of putting more people who are doing this stuff in them. They want everybody else to suffer on the outside and people on the inside to be let out more frequently, as opposed to just doing the right thing and teaching people a lesson. You know, when I was younger, I don't want an old man yelling at Claudia, but punishments were one of the things that directed my actions as an adolescent.
Imagine that.
I wouldn't do things wrong because I knew I would get in trouble. My father would be angry, or my mother would get mad at me and be disappointed in me. And as a result of that, I tried to do a little better in school, or I tried to not get in trouble doing this or that. The moment you realize there are no ramifications for your bad behavior, you're going to elicit the absolute worst out of a person that you possibly could imagine. Let us know what you think. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your dispatch right now. Noel on YouTube says, I can't use a gas station bathroom without buying something because I feel like they think I'm stealing or I feel judged. I just used the bathroom without buying anything. I have absolutely done that. Just buy some Twizzlers or something so you at least feel like you've purchased something at the place.
And then sometimes I feel judged when I use the bathroom, but I've been in there for a while, and it's like they think that I'm going number 2, but I'm actually just cleaning up for them right in here because it seems like no one's addressed this bathroom in years.
Bad sometimes.
I used to feel weird about it. I don't know why, but hindsight 2020. I used to be awkward about buying condoms at the gas station. I would always feel like I needed to buy something else too. Like the condoms were a side part. Like I came here for the smart water, but let me also get that pack of whatever.
Gonna have sex.
While I was buying the Bear Claw, I realized why not grab some of these condoms as well on the side. I did the same exact thing, and that's kind of a bad thing, right? Like. The idea that all these young people they're nervous and they feel embarrassed about buying contraception, that leads to bad outcomes down the line and more STDs, more unwanted pregnancies and stuff. So, we'll see what you think when we go to your dispatches in just a moment. Once again, go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. RFK Jr., we're going to get into that story, but I think we should take a quick break so we can work that in. The judge's smackdown on RFK Jr. was pretty brutal, but it also kind of looks like you just have a Justice Department going, we're going to clear the field here. Let's make this nice and easy for Kamala to just roll into the White House. What's the truth of it all? What's happening with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his campaign? That interesting twist coming up next on the News Junkie.
The fine woman in your smart speaker knows what you need. Really? Don't ask how. Just tell her to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
No surprise, Bo Nix impressive in his Broncos debut. Nix and the Broncos are a great example of hope in the NFL. You can be an absolute mess one year, turn it around in an instant with the right head coach and quarterback. The Texans were the biggest embarrassment in the league 2 years ago. Now they're the model. With Nix and Sean Payton in the fold, the Broncos could become the next Saints. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
As storm season heats up, your Better Business Bureau reminds you to make a list now of trusted professionals. If you need help after a hurricane, who will you trust? Protect your home and family by choosing licensed, reputable professionals. Turn to bbb.org to find a better business.
At Massey Services, we know that no two lawns are the same. That's why we create a customized lawn care plan for whatever your landscape looks like. From season to season, our personalized treatments keep your lawn healthy and beautiful all year long. Personalized, because it is personal. We take as much pride in your lawn as you do. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system, where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years. years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman. Instead of talking about how great my law firm is, let's talk about autism awareness. In Central Florida alone, there are thousands of children on the autism spectrum, including my son, Jacob. I'm not asking for a donation, but just a couple seconds of kindness when you see one of our children out in public. It will make a huge difference. If you want or need any information concerning the autism community, contact me at jeff@whenyouneedus.com. Offices, Orlando.
I'm John Morgan, here to urge you to vote yes on Amendment 3 and legalize the adult use of marijuana. There are a lot of reasons to vote yes on Amendment 3, but let me give you one more good one. Today, too many adults are sitting in our jails simply because they were using marijuana, and that is just wrong. If I was your governor, I would free or parole every person in jail for possession and then expunge everyone's record. Amendment 3 will put a stop to this and let the cops fight real crime, not fake crime. I'm tired of people being thrown in jail for something that is less harmful than alcohol or opioids. So now let's finish what I started and join me, John Morgan, in voting yes for the people and for Amendment 3.
Vote yes on Amendment 3. Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite 3, 321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu. iHeartRadio, let's go! Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
HCA Florida Maitland Emergency, located just south of Maitland Boulevard on Forest City Road, is now open 24/7. Visit HCAFloridaHealthcare.com to learn more. This emergency department is part of Oviedo Medical Center. This is not an urgent care center. Its services are billed at hospital rates.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Because you're never too old to learn something stupid. This is the News Junkie.
Get some more of your comments. We call them dispatches. You can send them with your thoughts, whatever your opinion is. Doesn't matter which side you might land on any particular topic. Do that over at thenewsjunkie.com. But right now, let's just jump into this because we got big RFK Jr. news here potentially. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Anybody in chat like this guy? There's always RFK Jr. people out there on the chat or somewhere. He's got the people who are like, I don't like this guy, I don't like Trump, and I don't like Kamala, and this would be the future I'm looking for. He's got no shot in winning, but there are people who like get fired up about him still, I think.
His prank style is insane.
His bear prank was quite the thing, yeah. He put a bear on a bike and dropped it in Central Park, but that's not his big problem right now. Jury duty brought to you by Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com after an accident for your friends, your enemies alike, or even a loved one. you should be the one to step up and suggest to them that the best representation will be Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm, because he's awesome, and we want you to do that. 866-CALL-MO or go to justcallmo.com. Bootsy saying, I saw somebody at Costco wearing an RFK Jr. shirt. He has his supporters. A guy had brainworms, so that's a bad look sometimes, but he does have his supporters out there. The problem right now is he may get yanked off the ballot in multiple states. For instance, according to the BBC, independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. does not meet the legal requirement of a New York resident and therefore cannot be on the state's election ballot, a judge has ruled. The courts in New York continuing to clear the way for Kamala Harris. Kennedy's claim of a New York address as his place of residence on nominating petitions was a false statement, says a judge. Here's what the judge actually said in the ruling, because I thought this was kind of interesting. Hang on, let me bring it up here. So for those of you who actually watch the show on YouTube or Twitch so we can see what's going on. This says, here, petitioners demonstrated by a clear and convincing slate of evidence that the 84 Croton Lake Road address listed on the nominating petition was not Kennedy's bona fide residence within the meaning of the election law.
It's Croton.
Croton?
Yeah, it's a plant.
Croton Lake, okay. Despite Kennedy's claim that he resided in the spare bedroom of the home as Barbara Moss's tenant beginning in approximately the spring of 2023, the overwhelming credible evidence introduced at trial established that Kennedy's connections with the 84 Croton Lake Road address existed only on paper and were maintained for the sole purpose of maintaining his voter registration and political standing in the state of New York. So they're saying RFK Jr. said, I live at this address, and this is why I want to be on the ballot here. And they're saying, we looked into it, you weren't really living at this address. It says, Kennedy's own testimony, as well as Moss's testimony, established that during that 15 months that Kennedy claimed to have been a tenant at this address, he only slept there on one occasion. Moreover, that lone overnight stay did not occur until June 25th, 2024, 1 month after Kennedy filed the nominating petition naming that address as his place of residence, and 2 weeks after his proceeding challenging the nominating petition was commenced. So they're saying he was not there. He was not at this address.
How long do you have to sleep there in order to establish residency? If you just said that, I'm sorry.
I think you have to be there quite a bit, actually. If you're in the state of Florida to establish residency, I think it's like 51% of the time.
But like once you do the 51%, and
you could have two addresses and you could live at the other place for the remainder of that year. But to claim residency, usually you have to be in the state for the majority of the time, and then at the actual address, the residence, for a bunch of time too. And it says, furthermore, the undisputed testimony provided by Moss and Kennedy established there was no written lease for this address, and they discussed a potential rental payment of $300 per month during their initial conversation. Kennedy made no payments to Moss whatsoever until approximately 1 year later, May 20th of 2024, where he paid $6,000 as a back payment. So they're saying he was not telling the truth about this address, and therefore, boom, they want to punt him off the New York ballot for the president.
That's not too great.
Not great for him. And for all the conspiracy theorists, more mounting evidence that they'll just use the court system to clear the way for Kamala. They wanted to get Trump off the ballot in New York and many other states. They've failed at that so far. Who knows what's going to happen? We still got time before the election.
Tick.
Now RFK's off.
If he's off, this is just for primaries, right, though?
No, this would be for the
general election.
For the election ballot. Yeah, as according to this.
So
would that have created like a major shift? Because I imagine he wasn't going to.
There'd be a whole state that you couldn't vote for a person in.
I'm saying, as far as RFK in this election, I mean, is how much of a chance does he have?
None,
according to the polls.
I would bet all of my money that RFK Jr. is not going to be the next president of the United States of America, and I would be incredibly confident and not lose a second of sleep betting on that. However,
I think I would lose at least a couple seconds, just like the what ifism in my head on the night before.
I would fall asleep just fine, but then I feel like I would. What if he does win? And then I'll go right back to sleep. Yeah.
That aside, when you take somebody off the ballot in a state like New York, their votes are going to go to the remaining people. Now, I would also bet all of my money that there is not a shot in hell that Trump is going to win the state of New York. Just not going to happen. Kamala Harris will win the state of New York.
It's just the way it's going to go, especially if you're in New York's larger cities. And some of them, like you might find some people who are Republicans who might have Trump signs out and whatnot.
Out in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, out in your places, maybe Plattsburgh, these kind of spots. But in New York City, you'd have to have 4 hours in a group of friends to find a Republican. It's much like Chicago. You don't find these people, or they just have to stay quiet because of social bullying and pressure. You just shut up and agree with whatever everybody else around you agrees with. But if those people aren't going to be able to vote for RFK Jr., they go on one side or the other, and that could be an electoral vote swing. So that's what the concern is, I think, for some folks. We'll see what happens with that, but it's going to be super interesting to watch.
I didn't know that was what they were going for with Trump. I didn't know that I mean, that just seems unfair. You're going to a whole state can decide that we're not going to give you the option to vote for a candidate that the whole country is voting for?
I don't remember how many states so far have tried to do that, but at least a handful of states have tried to unilaterally take Trump off the ballot.
Based on the felonies and then that other stuff?
Based on a charge of insurrection. The problem being that Trump was never officially charged with insurrection, and they probably would have an incredibly difficult time convicting him on that charge. If he was charged and convicted of insurrection, they absolutely would have the right to take that person off of the ballot. But no charge, no go, and even still, there was places that were trying to do it. It should just be a heads-up race. That's what I'd love to see here. See where the American populace wants to go. Do they think Kamala Harris is going to give us something different? I'm a little jaded on that. She's been in the White House for 4 years. She's been part of what's led us to an economic problem here in this country. A lot
of the arguments I'm seeing on social media for against Kamala are she's had 4 years to do these things. Why hasn't she done them already? She could do them right now.
And if she has different ideas, I'd like to hear her lucidly explain those different ideas. We already have some stuff, copying Trump with the no tax on tips thing. But I want to hear the other things. I don't want to hear a revisionist history like coming out and saying that you're tough on the border or you're going to be tough on the border. I live in the real world. I know how things have been for the last 4 years. Need to see a case be built here. And then Trump, people kind of know what to expect on his side. And I don't know if he's changing too much in his positions other than the electric car thing. You know, Elon supported him, so now I got to support the electric cars. He immediately changes on that one. I think I'd like to see a heads-up race, and America decides where we go next. And those are two very different directions, but I want it to be fair, and I don't want it to be a bunch of nonsense afterwards. That is not going to happen, but that is what I personally would like to see. Also, in jury duty, police are now hunting for a suspect after Trump's Virginia campaign office was burgled. They say there were surveillance footage screen captures showing authorities searching for a white man dressed in dark clothing wearing a dark baseball cap. He had a backpack on his front, so a front pack, if you will, when he entered the office.
Fanny pack?
And they're trying to see what he got.
This is more like backpack. What Sean was envisioning of you, Sabrina, when you said you had two backpacks. And
he thought you were wearing
one in the front, one in the back.
Yeah,
like slung off the back like you would for school or something. Although I don't know. I'm pretty far out of touch now on the school stuff. Do they still sling that one side free with the backpack now that they're back to school? Or
I don't know. I think the only difference
straps?
is they have to have clear backpacks just in case.
Do they really?
Not all of them.
I did see down south there was a school, and they said there were huge lines to get into school because it was the first day of school and they had not used metal detectors yet. And I thought, that's kind of sad. And then Celia and I were both kind of commiserating earlier where somebody said in chat that the second day of school led to the first school lockdown for their school. And all right, might as well get right back into that. It's just, and probably some threat. A fixable problem, mind you. 99% of these threats that we see to schools where we end up with a lockdown are a result of people using Google Voice phone numbers, Skype numbers, other numbers that are not connected to their identity. They'll call up a school, say they're going to bomb the place, and they'll never catch them because they can't track down where the call came from. All we have to do is put up a firewall there. You cannot get access to a phone number unless you are from these particular providers. These particular providers must verify the identity of the people buying these phones. No more sayonara to burner phones. See you later. I don't care if that's taking away your right to have a burner phone. The other rights and liberties are more important. That's me. That's my platform. Out of here with burner phones. Out of here with these internet lines that you could throw up with no identification tied to it. None of that stuff.
Do you have a prescribed right to have a burner phone?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is it a privacy thing?
I don't know. I don't even know what the counter argument would be, but that's my argument. I don't want that. I don't want people having to live in a school where they have to lock it down every day because of fake bomb threats.
And
it's
that
bad.
I completely agree with. But then I think about the situations in which I have, I don't have an office phone anymore. Mm-hmm. And then I have my cell phone and I have my Google Voice number.
Right.
And there are certain people that I would want to give that Google Voice number to, not my personal cell phone. I made the mistake of giving my personal cell phone number. And it's,
yeah, but here's the problem. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But shouldn't we as a society start pushing back that so many people think that they deserve access to our cell phones? I think your cell phone number should be for like only your inner circle of people, your family, people that you really want to have your cell phone. But people will still bump into you.
Far behind that, or like
this is coming from the guy who put my cell phone number on Facebook.
That is
I know. I'm sorry for doing that. We did a lot of pranks back in the day. My number's out there too, just like your guys'. I get texts from listeners from time to time who hit me up, even though I haven't replied in 756 texts. There they go again. There they go again. I would push those people over to email. That should be normalized. Pushing people over to email. Oh, I don't answer my phone. That's true, by the way. I don't answer my phone. Here's my email
address. There's also this like new, it's not very new, but certainly in the last 5-10 years, in which if you don't answer immediately, like all of a sudden everyone needs 24-hour access. Mm-hmm. Where, back in your days, Sean, and my early days, it's like, okay, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to call you back. Can we schedule something? But if I don't answer a text message or an email within 1 hour of receiving it, then obviously I'm ignoring somebody, not doing my job, don't care, isolating myself, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, where did we get this notion that everyone has complete access to 24/7, and if not, judgment is laid upon?
I don't know how old that is, because when I was in middle school or high school, it was not there. In fact, you would text somebody.
You did not have texting in middle school.
Not text. You would beep somebody. You would page them on their pager, and you wouldn't expect that you were going to get a reply all that quick. That process sucked. That was the whole thing. Uh-huh. Yeah, like maybe go to a payphone or something.
Unless you put 911.
Yeah.
Like Michael Scott.
Maybe the texting is what brought about that immediacy. Like people expect something right away, but push back on it. I'm with you. I'll fight for that. I hate this stuff. I think that you work during your work hours. I keep working past that because I'm obsessed over work, and it's kind of a thing. But for most people, you shouldn't be giving out your number to most folks who ask for it. And we should fix this problem where people can get unfettered access to numbers that they can then use anonymously to harass people. That's bad. Everybody would agree, I think, that was bad. And it seems super fixable to me. Final story in jury duty today. A neighbor is sentenced for a fatal stabbing over a snoring fight, this says, from lawandcrime.com.
You would have gotten stabbed so much.
You're pretty stabbable. Yeah, we used to be. I don't know. You've been doing the old CPAP thing.
I haven't been as diligent with it because I use the nose mask. Mm-hmm. And in the last couple months or so, I've had some weeks where I'm just really, really stuffy, and I rip it off in the middle of the night. Nope,
wow,
not happening.
Yeah, I could see how that's not comfortable. Christopher James Casey, 56, pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in the stabbing death of Robert Wallace, 62. This was the culmination of a 2-year fight over loud snoring, and eventually just went over and killed the guy, stabbed him to death over this fight. What do you think? Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. People giving out their phone numbers, which I hope are fake, over on the chat side of things. It's a bad idea overall. Point Blank Ted on Twitch says, if we just make it an option to automatically reject calls from burner phones, it would solve the same problems without any new laws. You can do that to a certain extent right now on iPhone, and I'm sure Android allows this. You can ban calls from numbers that are not in your contact list,
yes,
I believe.
You can do that.
So that would be something that's helpful, but that's not really the problem. That would stop individual harassment. You could say, I'm only going to take calls from people who I put in my phone, so everybody else is blocked by default. What's problematic is institutions, schools. Schools can't do that. Schools can't block every phone call except for the ones that are on their contact list.
How
What
is
if a
it just
kid's
not caller
in an
ID?
emergency?
I mean, we had that feature in our landlines. It was great. And then all of a sudden it's like, you got nothing.
But problem two, Electric Boogaloo, the caller ID is not a foolproof thing. They need to lock that down too. Because as you know, you can just put whatever you want. You could use an app and say, make the caller ID say this. That's bad. All this stuff is bad. I think easily fixed. But does anybody have the appetite for it? Who knows?
Phone operators. Let's bring those back.
Old school.
Can I get your name? All right, I'll put you through. And then you use the things.
I watched a movie not that
Cables.
long ago with Courtney, and it centered on this younger girl. She had her first job, and she worked at one of those routing centers where somebody would just pick up the phone and go, put me through to
Connect
23.
me with Steve Buscemi, please.
And then they'd unplug.
Did you just call Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, I was like,
Connect me
when
with
with
Steve.
Steve? Steve's usually a go-to for fake name, but Buscemi, I'm thinking about him, I guess.
Or maybe his father or his father's father. And they would go, put me through to 86. And they'd pull out the plug it into the next one, let them have a conversation, then change it back. It was a whole thing.
Something for me that doesn't seem, it seems like it was longer ago than the example I'm about to give, always stuck out to me. In the very first season of Seinfeld, I think when it was still called the Seinfeld Chronicles or something like that, this is like the pilot season, and they mention a phone number in 5 digits that starts with a letter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that was never a thing for me.
Yeah, that's old school right there. I think so. And people are saying, use this, use that. TNJ, use Google Phone Screener. None of these are going to fix the overall problem with institutions getting bomb threats and people not being able to be caught because of it.
That's true. And this has not related to the bomb threats, but the amount of political text messages. And now iPhone allows you, like, at the bottom, like, delete, report junk. But it doesn't matter. Like, it is 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Who
because
gave out my damn number, man?
You did.
I am not getting any. I'm not getting any right now. I am getting spam
use
texts.
your number from now on.
I get a bunch of spam texts, probably 1 to 2 per day. On a bad day, maybe more, 3, 4, 5. I haven't been getting any of the political ones. I don't know how you end up on that list or not on that list.
I get them very sporadically, but lately, Ashley, my wife's phone, has been like RIP inbox because we just, we're just in the process of buying a house.
Yep.
And
it's in the public records, right?
That or you sign up for some credit check or something, and that immediately gets sent.
It's something like that. And I've only been called by my bank once or twice about the thing because I'm in the process too. I'm part of the mortgage this time around. But I know, right? Big year for me.
On up.
But she will show me screenshots of her phone of all the missed calls, pages and pages of missed calls from people trying to be like, "Oh, do the mortgage with us." No, come do the mortgage with us.
It's so annoying, and you just can't get away from it. I wish somebody would say, "Enough's enough. Let's fix this once and for all." Let's see if that happens. Probably not. When we return, we'll get to Americans are saying they want less of this. Less of this. What is it? I think it might take you by surprise. But one thing's for sure, it is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Did you miss out on a seat at the Real Radio Poker Tournament? The last remaining seats are now up for auction. Get the details at realradio.fm/poker.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Construction continues, closing the off-ramp from the Greenway northbound to Florida's Turnpike, exit 12. That looks like it's opening back up around 4 p.m. There's an accident on Powers Drive northbound around Clarkona-Ocoee Road, and watch out for an accident on Silver Star Road westbound before Pine Hills Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
If you're thinking about selling your business, now is the perfect time. Florida's economy has attracted great buyers that are actively seeking new investment opportunities. Simply put, they're looking for businesses just like yours. At Transworld, our mergers and acquisitions team has extensive experience in confidentially selling privately held firms across all industries. Call us today at 833-735-5352. That's 833-SELL-FLA. And speak confidentially with one of our advisors with no obligation. That's 833-SELL-FLA. Or visit transworldma.com. Once again, that's transworldma.com. Transworld Business Advisors, the #1 lower middle market firm in Florida. Good deals, good people.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Radio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics, brought so many memorable moments.
Look, Captain America putting the country on his back.
And you heard it on iHeartRadio. Relive all the amazing moments and stories of the 2024 Paris Olympics on 3 epic podcasts: The Podium, In the Village, and 2 Guys, 5 Rings. Open the free iHeart app, search Olympics, and start listening now.
I'm Geraldine Thompson. As state senator, I do not back down. I stand up to protect our voting rights and abortion rights from extremists. As mother and grandmother, I stand up to those who want to take away funds from public schools and put more guns in our streets and classrooms. I'll never stop standing up for you. By August 20th, vote Geraldine Thompson for Florida Senate District 15. Political advertisement paid for and approved by Geraldine Thompson, Democrat for State Senate.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
Even not being able to comprehend the situation, it's just absolutely brutal. A U.S. gymnastics star was robbed of a medal. That's it right there in a nutshell in Paris. And now we just know that to be the case. And it's one of these zero tolerance things that's leading to them not getting their medal. And here's the story if you haven't been following this. It's taken some new twists. USA Gymnastics said Monday this week that rules are barring the sports arbitration court from considering evidence they say proves American gymnast Jordan Childs is the winner of a bronze medal from the Paris Olympics. In a statement, the American sports governing body said they were deeply disappointed by the notification and will continue to pursue every possible avenue in an appeal process. She was awarded the 3rd place neckwear, so she got the bronze medal in the floor exercise, but only after her coach, Cecil Landy, appealed her initial score, pushing her onto the podium from 5th and Romania's Ana Barbasou out of medaling. So they said, we are challenging that score. We want to appeal that score that you gave her. They rescored, and they moved her from 5th place, bumping out this Romanian from the bronze position. Barbasou and the Romanian Gymnastics Federation appealed the decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. They said that Landy had filed an inquiry to appeal seconds beyond the 1-minute deadline. So basically they said, yes, the U.S. gymnast appealed for a new scoring, but they did it 1 second or just seconds after the 1 minute deadline. The arbitrary court goes, okay, you're right, and they give the bronze medal back to the Romanian girl, taking it away from the American. However, they then submitted a letter and video that conclusively proved the appeal was within 47 seconds. It was well within the amount of time. And they said now, rules do not allow from an arbitral award to be reconsidered, even when conclusive new evidence is presented. So they said, even if you're right, are screwed.
Boo.
You don't get the bronze medal.
Not fair. Not
that
cool.
That seems super screwed up to me.
It does.
It's shenanigans.
Now,
get your brooms out.
And everyone's going to hate you now.
If I were Romanian, I might go, well, our girl was bronze and you knocked her out of the medaling because you said your first score wasn't what you wanted it to be, so you wanted them to recalculate.
Yeah.
But they do that.
Then they recalculate based on her difficulty or something like that?
They said they didn't like the initial score. They appealed it. And then when they appealed it, they redid the score and put her in that bronze position. And then they said, no, you appealed it too late. Give it back to the Romanian gymnast. So it seems bad. It seems like you shouldn't be able to appeal a score, maybe. It seems like once the score is locked in, that has to be the score you go with. Otherwise, it's snip, snap, and everybody gets screwed over, or at least feels like they got screwed over. We want to go to you in just a moment with some dispatches. But before we do that and check in with you, fewer Americans than ever want this. And I've been screaming this for a very long time. I think it's dumb that companies would do otherwise, but now the numbers are in from Gallup. Fewer Americans want companies to take a public stand on current events and public policy. How wild is this? By taking a stance on political candidates, companies risk taking a hit to their bottom lines. Just 38% think businesses in general should have public stances on current events. 38%. That's a decline of 10 percentage points from 2022, so it's on the way down. And even Democrats, Americans under 45, Black Americans, Asian Americans, all those people dropping this idea that they want their company to take a stance on politics. I don't care what Starburst thinks about Black Lives Matter. I don't care what Laffy Taffy thinks about the border crisis. I don't care what a company thinks about anything. And if it's my company, I'm going to say any kind of political affiliation is going to be bad for us rather than good. Of course.
Now,
I'm not going to do that.
Public stances are often the result of it being known, or like someone does the quote unquote digging, not a lot of digging, to see what the CEOs or the founders or the people making the most money of the company and who they're donating to.
Mm-hmm.
And then their response to it. So it's like, you still cool with them donating a bunch of money to the political candidate of their choice?
People should be able to donate to whoever they want politically. I have no issue with that. I don't have any problem with people making political and in-kind donations. I think that's part of our setup. But the company as a whole, like at Skittles, going, here's what we think about this. Or somebody going, you see people all the time with Palestine, like they try to force you into taking a position, and that means their position. They're not forcing you to just side with one side. They're forcing you to take their position. Otherwise, they're going to boycott you or they're going to do X, Y, or Z. And then so the company comes out and goes, oh, we stand with the people of Gaza. Just don't answer to any of these people. I don't care who's asking you as a company to weigh in on politics. Stay away from it. And I told you not that long ago, Courtney had one of those, after we went to Publix, they sent over like, here's some questions. Could you answer these for us? We'll give you a coupon or something. And the questions were like, do you want us to take a stance on social issues? Do you want us to take a stance on political issues?
No.
I think more and more companies are hearing that, no, I don't want you to weigh into that.
No,
because
you get a damn email from Sticker Mule guy?
Yes, exactly.
No, thank you.
Ruining his company, because now you've made your company political. And you could say all you want that, oh, well, all the Trump people will go over there. At the end of the day, you can't float a company if you alienate like half of the human beings that are your target audience. That's a super bad idea, politically speaking, and just in terms of business. So I'm way on board with that. I think people should have saw this a long time ago.
We here at Uber categorically condemn the Olympic Committee allowing a man to beat up a woman.
Exactly. These kind of things are only going to be bad. You're a company. Just say, we're a company. We strive to provide great products and services for our clientele. We want our customers to have a great experience with us, no matter what their background or political leanings. Blah, 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 blah. That is the easiest answer to give, and I think it's the most effective. But maybe you want your companies to be political. If so, let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com, and we'll see what you have to say about that. Just like this, here goes Mad King with the dispatch. He says, party of no choice.
Good afternoon, junkies. The Mad King here. The entire Democratic Party is being cheated. They are not being given a choice of the candidate that they chose to vote for. They are being told you are going to vote for Kamala. End of story.
No, they don't have to vote for Kamala Harris. They don't have to. They seem to have rallied around her, judging by sort of the momentum shift. But, I mean, in a way, I agree. We sort of just went, let's push this person out of the way, and then let's put this person in charge who hasn't really been the person running for the office of presidency. But this is a wake-up call then for you. This is how our democracy, or the representative republic that we are in the United States, this is how it actually works. This is how it works. You can do things like this because slates of electors can not be relied upon always to fulfill their duties and vote for who the people wanted them to vote for. They can change their votes on things. It's a weird thing that is a super old piece of our system of voting in the United States, and I think we should revisit that. I think the Electoral College is good, super good. I think we shouldn't have just big cities having power over everybody. Electoral College, I think, is good, but I think this thing where people could just slide in even if they didn't get votes is bad. However, that's the rules. Those are the rules that we're operating under right now.
But I mean, he's not alone in saying that. There's been a lot of talk about that. That was John Morgan's platform on why he's not, donating as much money to the Democratic Party this election season. And I don't know what was the alternative. Is that they scramble together a bunch of Democrats that could possibly do the job and then have emergency primaries? It's way too late.
It was way too late for any of that. The Democrats had to have a reflection moment where they said, is Joe Biden too old? Is he falling apart? Should we get somebody new here? And that's what happened.
And he could have said no. He said, I'm still going to stay.
Mm-hmm. That's partially, that's partially just a matter of lack of time. But also, he could have dropped out earlier, but I don't think they were pushing super hard for that.
No, they were defending him. As a matter of fact, people were saying, "Oh, you're crazy for bringing up this stuff. He's got a stutter. He's got this. He's got that." It was endless hand wringing on that topic.
But I mean, wouldn't the argument for that be still kind of valid in the fact, in as much as Biden being on the bill without somebody like contesting that because he's the incumbent president?
You tell me if you agree with this. I think if you make the argument that Kamala has been forced upon the Democrats and therefore, like, this is anti-democratic, here's why I find a flaw in that logic. I find a flaw in that logic because during the general election, people can either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump or RFK in some states if they want to. So there's no way, there's no way in hell that she's going to be elected if she doesn't get votes from people who are actually voting for her. Her name is on the ballot now. You don't have choice anymore, and she's been thrust upon you as the choice, but you still have the choice to vote for her or the other guy, and she'll take office because if she gets more votes in critical states than the other guy. So the vote will still occur regardless.
But if Joe Biden was 60 years old, you wouldn't have had a choice. It would have been him.
Yeah, it would have been him, for sure.
Because the incumbent president generally gets the nod, unless they were, there's been times where
they've been challenged before, but it's not very common.
I think it's usually when somebody succeeds the presidency. Like if a president dies and the next person, the vice president, gets to be president, and then the party comes around during election season and goes, no, you're not our guy.
And by the way, people could have absolutely and did for a very short period of time, could have challenged Kamala Harris for the Electoral College votes. And they stepped up a little bit, and then they decided to fall in line and not do it. And she ended up getting enough of the Electoral College votes to win the nomination. There was an attempt there, not a Democratic attempt necessarily, but an attempt for other people to step up. They didn't. Here's Sir Barnacles talking about the car jack story.
It's funny how in Florida they're so quick to throw somebody in jail for a small bag of weed or some stems and seeds in a bowl in their car, but they're not going to throw a kid or a young adult into jail for pointing a gun at somebody and carjacking them. There's definitely something wrong with that. I agree with you, Sean.
Well, we have this thing where we go, you don't want to throw kids in jail. You got a 14-year-old, you throw your hands up, what do? Keep putting them back in these programs. You have the sort of progressive crime policies and ideas which are pretty horrific and pretty bad in when put in place. We've seen that in a lot of cities like Portland and San Francisco and LA. And you have this idea that if we just love them enough and hug them enough, we could pour out all the prisons and everybody will be kumbaya, even to the point where people are prison abolitionists. This is just nutty, really stupid thought process that leads you to that. And I say, even if a kid's 14, sometimes the parent's trying to do something at home. The mom was trying to take his phone away from him and he just left and stole a car. That person needs to be in jail. I don't care if they're 14. They're 14, let them think about it. Be in jail for a little while with some adults. You want to be in jail for the rest of your life?
That you think that being in jail leaves you time for rehabilitation and thinking about it and coming out a better citizen. And there are some people that do that. But then there's also some people who immediately get out of jail and are worse off because of the influence in that. They don't care about you in whatever jail program that you end up in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're going to break some eggs making an omelet. When I look at this, I go, you have to do something. The parents aren't able to do anything.
I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm just saying the reality of it as well.
Yeah, I think when you go into jail, especially if you're like a younger person going into jail, it's a reflection moment. You go, do I want this to be the rest of my life? Or do I want to have a life with freedoms where I can enjoy myself and not be like this? And if you want to take that road of criminality, too bad. I'm not chasing after that person trying to fix them the whole time. What do you think? Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and fire off a dispatch right now. There was a story in the Washington Post today that says, with in-home concerts, people are partying like it's $18.99, which honestly doesn't seem very fun and appealing.
It doesn't make sense at all.
That's not a good time right there. They said there's a whole in-depth story about how people are having live music performances at their home. And when I see a story, I go, are people really doing this? Or
some are. I've heard of it.
Granted, I've been to a backyard concert. It was very fun.
When you say concert, do you mean they're having a get together and they had somebody like C-Lane come over and perform, or
full band?
A band play.
Full band stage brought in, and everyone came and partied. And fortunately, the sticklers that always call the cops on me and the band practicing were not there.
Yeah, but this was not you just doing a band practice.
No, this was
somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever I see this and see a story like this, I go, that may happen, but I don't think it's a commonplace thing that people are having a concert at their house. It just logistically seems like it would be a nightmare. I remember when MTV used to have people win and Metallica would play in your living room, and you'd be like, this sounds fun, until there's 14 people in your living room at a Metallica show. And
it sounds like a miserable time for Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica's like, what are we doing here? This is weird. It's like a guy and his aunt and his uncle and 4 friends. And
my aunt lives in Melrose, Florida, which is like a suburb of Gainesville. And she lives on like a tributary of Lake Santa Fe, and they have a neighbor who would do this every couple months or so. They would have somebody come in and have all the neighbors and friends over and perform, and these different musicians and stuff come through, and they did I wouldn't call it a series, but it was a self-done thing that was an in-home performance. I take issue with the word concert because I see and feel something and hear in my head what a concert should look like.
Like a larger production.
Music show.
Yeah. You got stage, you got lights, you got speakers, you compare that to, for instance, the Sanford thing that they do where everybody does those little front porch concerts.
Yeah, those are super cool.
those kind of things, if considered this, I guess would fall under this category. But let us know where you're at. Here's Square Sligger talking about vice president.
What's up, junkies?
Hey.
So I keep hearing all this talk about the vice president, what she's done, what she hasn't done, and all these things. Now, the question I always ask everyone is, what has any vice president done? Do you ever look back and go, what did Mike Pence do? What did Dan Quayle do? And maybe she has put in suggestions to have things done over the years, and she was told to go pound sand. No one knows the answers to any of these things. It's ridiculous to even speculate on. Anyway, my 2 cents.
Thank you. Bad quality audio, but that's not your fault necessarily. Something went wrong on the phone side. A vice president can stand out more than Kamala Harris has, or than Dan Quayle did, who was more famous for just everybody wanted you to think he was stupid. He was a very, very dumb man. And they could take point on things. A lot of times they don't want to. But if you don't think that Dick Cheney was a powerful vice president, I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't think you know a lot about politics. I mean that in all sincerity. You can be a very powerful vice president. Dick Cheney was probably one of the most powerful vice presidents of all time. And he shot a dude in the face and got away with it. So that guy, Trump only says he can shoot somebody in the face and get away with it. He actually did, Dick Cheney. He went to a place where people were hunting, blasted somebody's face off, and continued on with his day. So brutal guy. Anyhow, thank you for the dispatch. Much appreciated. When we return, we'll get into more of your words. And I heard about this big fight that's happening in the world of entertainment. And I want to know if you guys think this is real or if this is a thing sometimes that they do to promote the project, okay? Is it real or is it like a promotional stunt? And it's really hard to sort out the truth here. So we're going to do that together. That about a big movie is coming up next in the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Travel with caution. Authorities are clearing up an accident on I-4 eastbound before US 92 at mile marker 124. The right lane is blocked and the roadways are wet out there, so just travel with caution. There's off-ramp backup from the Greenway southbound to Colonial Drive and intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
We have one more chance for you to play poker with us on August 17th at the 2024 Real Radio Texas Hold'em Charity Poker Tournament, presented by Injured on the Go. Just call Mo. Our final seats are now available in a last chance auction benefiting the mustard seed of Central Florida. Plus, these auction seats also come with a casino pass for guests to enjoy that MortgageGuide.com casino. You might even rub elbows with Jim Phillips. Top poker player who survives the Solar Source final table gets a trip to Las Vegas. Special thanks to Life Imaging FLA and to Mills Air for providing complimentary Michelob Ultras for our poker players. Go to realradio.fm/poker for more information.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
I'm John Walzak, host of the new podcast, Missing in Arizona.
And I'm Robert Fisher, one of the most wanted men in the world.
We cloned his voice using AI. In 2001,
police say I killed my family and rigged my house to explode
before escaping into the wilderness.
Police believe he is alive.
Join me. I'm going down in the cave as I track down clues.
I'm going to call the police and have you removed.
Hunting.
One of the most dangerous fugitives in the world.
Robert Fisher.
Do you recognize my voice?
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Missing in Arizona.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
Get semaglutide for half the price of Ozempic at Red Mountain Weight Loss today.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is the news.
What's promo? What's drama? What is actually happening? And I haven't seen this yet, but Courtney wants to see this Blake Lively movie that blew up. It Ends With Us, where it's like an aggressive, battered wife type situation, and she's going to break the chains and leave this guy who's been abusing her. And that's, that's sort of the basic premise of this movie. It Ends With Us. And I noticed when they first started promoting this, Blake Lively, who is the big star of the movie, really, but her co-star and her are not in any photos together.
Right.
They are like at different areas of the red carpet.
Seems like none of the co-stars are with him.
With this guy. The guy, Justin Baldoni is his name.
And he's the director as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the guy who directed It Ends With Us. And he was the co-star who was in the movie on the other side, or opposite of Blake Lively. And it was pretty wild to see like how divided it seemed to be at these publicity events that they were giving, with him not mixing with them and them not mixing with him. And you think to yourself, well, is this real? Or is this another thing that they might do to gin up some kind of publicity for the movie? And when I thought about that, I was like, well, maybe it's just some drama to get more people to buy tickets. Ooh, these people don't like each other. But that would have to stick with you after that. And I don't know, like, I wouldn't want to be on the outskirts and go, okay, Sean, we're going to pretend like nobody likes you and nobody wants to work with you. And the rest of the cast will be over here on the red carpet and you'll be over here. We'll separate you. And the fight will stir up drama and make more press for us. I wouldn't want to be involved in that. So
it sounds like the same thing with God, what was it? Darling with Harry Styles.
Yep, right.
And him spitting or not spitting on the guy and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah, that in that movie. Then on a different front, you have who's the Glenn guy who's in all kinds of stuff now? Damn it,
Glenn
man.
Powell.
Glenn Powell, and he was in the movie with what's her face?
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, and
I'm on fire.
The whole thing was like the two of them, like, oh, are we actually flirting? Do we have a relationship outside of the movie? And it brings extra eyes and ears onto the thing you're doing. But this is whatever their on-screen romance, the co-stars in the movie adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel, It Ends With Us, were reportedly far from cozy. On Monday, TMZ obtained a video that appears to show Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, who also directed the film, embroiled in a disagreement on set. Okay, but how is this leaking out? Like, how is on-set footage of them fighting leaking out? He's the director of this thing.
That's
like the kind of thing that makes me think it's like an inside job.
PA. Somebody
Could be.
who, I mean, on a movie like that with a budget like that, you have a lot of people. A lot of people. Now, granted, it could be, I think with all that, TMZ is probably, any sort of tabloid type website is probably willing to fork up a bunch of money, and someone who has gotten the temp job will get a sweet payday to send over that footage.
TMZ pays for it, 100%. I don't know if they paid for this. I can't say that on the record, but TMZ will pay, I'm sure, for something juicy enough. It says, Lively reportedly wasn't the only one uncomfortable working alongside her male co-star. None of the cast enjoyed working with Justin. They certainly didn't talk to him at the premiere. The overall tensions even thought to have gotten bad enough for Baldoni to consider not directing a sequel, though curiously, he's previously said he thought Lively would do a better job. I see some people debating on like if she's difficult to work with. I don't know if I've heard anything about Blake Lively being difficult to work with.
I heard
but
she's lovely.
I also don't really feel like I know a lot about her personally.
Yeah, I don't either. But who was the one in Don't Worry, Darling? What was her name?
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde. There's all sorts of stories about her being difficult, her having problems with interpersonal relationships, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't recall, and I could just be absolutely out of the loop here. I don't recall hearing a lot of that about Blake Lively. I thought she kind of had a wave of good press and love, much like her husband. The two of them seem to be really media darlings, and they don't seem to be able to do anything wrong.
If somebody Ellened Ryan Reynolds, that would be a mind F for a lot of people.
Yeah, he seems like a super nice guy to me, and she seems cool. I don't see any.
The only one who spoke against him was T.J. Miller.
TJ Miller
said,
to me, I'm immediately not going to give any credit to what TJ Miller says because of his past.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, I probably shouldn't do that. I probably listen to the person now. But TJ Miller, I can almost guarantee you, has been incredibly difficult to work with. Watching what that guy
to
did.
travel with if you're going to take a train.
Do you remember how hyped up he got on himself when he was doing the Emoji Movie press junket stuff? Like
But with that, I also take a grain of salt because you have to be the one guy to promote this crappy movie.
He was saying the Emoji Movie was going to change the world. This is the greatest movie in all history. And you see shortly after. For me, what you need to see is when people start to go, I don't want to work with that person. I don't want to work with that person. I don't want to work with that person. That means your skill set does not override the detriment it is to having you on set every day. That's big. There are still people who will work with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson. Remember the stories about him?
Yeah.
With his wife, with the police, with Jews, with anybody. And people will still work with him because there's a net benefit that I get out of a relationship with Mel Gibson. I dig this guy for whatever reason. I'll stand by him. It's a sign usually, I think. But we'll see what you think. Noel says, LOL, Ryan Reynolds seems like too extra. Like you would definitely have Ryan Reynolds overload. He seems to me to be,
turns it off.
I think he probably does too. And he seems to me to be the guy who doesn't want to get into the political muck and mire, which that's smart. Do that. You alienate people like crazy doing that, just like the companies do when they get involved in this.
There are people that don't turn that off, and then their on-screen persona it just kind of is what they are around a lot of people off the air, off screen,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I feel like, and I mostly from watching Welcome to Wrexham, that Ryan Reynolds does
about his soccer team.
Yeah, he does turn off the whole Ryan Reynolds everything sarcastic and funny thing and get down to business at times.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how much some of these people are like their characters. One last example real quick, the Smart List podcast. You have Jason Bateman in that podcast lineup, and having listened to 4 or 5 episodes of that show, he is remarkably like all of the characters that he plays.
Well, and I was talking. It's so funny because the age gap, I think, was pretty funny to us. My father-in-law called me and he goes, "You got to watch Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman something while eating spicy wings." And I was like, "You're talking about Hot Ones? Have you not seen Hot Ones before?"
He's like, "Sealand, I got to tell you, there's a new show.
Yeah.
They eat hot wings.
No,
and they ask even hotter questions."
And it was really funny. It was a really funny episode. But he mentions that he's like Deadpool all the time. I go, no. Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. That was just written that way because that was just his personality. Even Van Wilder a little bit shaped that, I think.
Yeah, I buy that. Absolutely. I think that there's some truth to that. We'll see what you think. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now. When we return, friends, we shall do the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, I'll give you my review of the new Deadpool movie. Saw it last night. Plus, we'll do What'd You Do That's New at 4 o'clock. Go over Scott Maxwell's choice. I have something cool for you as well. In the 5 o'clock hour, it's trivia up for grabs. Orlando Magical Dining dinner for 2. Plus, your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Good afternoon. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And today it'll be hot. The high 95 degrees in Orlando. It'll feel like 107, so take it easy out there. We've got a 30 to 40% chance for a couple of afternoon thunderstorms with lots of lightning. Otherwise, we'll see a higher rain chance tomorrow and especially Thursday before a brief break in the rain for Friday and Saturday with some drier air rolling into the region. But it's only brief with more storms on the way for next week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
I'm John Morgan, and I'm asking you to stand with me and vote yes on Amendment 3. Amendment 3 will be on your ballot in November, and it will allow adults to possess or safely use marijuana, and that's a very good thing. Amendment 3 will put an end to bad laws that not only cost us millions in law enforcement dollars, but also cost thousands of Floridians their freedom. Nearly 250 years ago, our nation declared our independence. Now it's time for us to declare our independence from laws that demand jail time for simply having or consuming marijuana. Our system of treating adults who consume marijuana as criminals is madness. Join me, John Morgan, in supporting our own Declaration of Independence and vote for the people and vote yes on Amendment 3.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite 3, 321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Hey guys, Russ Rollins here. You know, August is National Wellness Month, and to be well, you got to have information. You got to know what's going on. And man, there's a company called Life Imaging FLA that they know early detection of heart disease and cancer is a game changer in terms of treatment and outcome. And you can go get a scan for heart disease and for cancer without having any symptoms, which means you can go in advance and find out what's going on. I have about 6 people I've known in the past 2 months that have found out they had blockage in their heart, had no idea, and it saved their lives. One lady let me know that she had lung cancer, had no idea, and found out with Life Imaging FLA. You can do the same thing. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan, you'll be connected in seconds. There's a few minimum requirements, but this is a great $699 value. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan, you'll be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
HCA Florida Maitland Emergency, located just south of Maitland Boulevard on Forest City Road, is now open 24/7. Visit hcafloridahealthcare.com to learn more. This emergency department is part of Oviedo Medical Center. This is not an urgent care center. Its services are billed at hospital rates.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Join the show. Send your dispatch now at thenewsjunkie.com.
Stories that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. And if you haven't shared the show and to share the show Tuesday, well, shame on you.
What are you waiting for?
It's like the easiest thing to do ever. Just go over to thenewsjunkie.com/share, thenewsjunkie.com/share, and you will see all of our social media profiles and follow away. That's what you can do to help out on a Share the Show Tuesday. Let's see here. What do we got before we wrap things up here and get into a couple of final dispatches? When we were talking during the break, Celine, did you see if that place I was talking about was indeed the concert venue? He said it's like sort of acting as if it's a house, because Courtney and I walk by this place every day and we go, those people are like the ultimate party throwers in this neighborhood. And we're wondering, like, how come we don't get invited to any of these events that are happening at this? I just thought it was a regular house. And you're saying like it might be a venue that's in the middle of some neighborhood.
It is. It's in the middle of the neighborhood. It looks like a really big house. Mm-hmm. And I think it used to be. It's called Timucua Arts Foundation, TIMUCUA. And they bring, what do they got coming up? They got
our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly
it's right
what you're
by the high
talking
school.
about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there. But every time I went by, there was like 40 cars and a big long line, and
I
the
still
place
don't know
was
where
bumping.
it is, but I know someone who's been in there, and then as soon as I said I didn't know, they're like, "You have to go."
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was like
acoustically has been set up for a great experience.
But I thought it was like the Great Gatsby. I thought it was just some person who had a house there, and they were like, on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, we have wine parties here, and everybody comes. Because when you look at the people, it's not like they're all old or they're all young or they're all, this or that. They're all sorts of different people from all over the spectrum were going to this place.
Yeah.
I thought it was secret awesome parties.
Like, here's a smattering of things coming up. There's a string quartet playing Bruckner for his 200th birthday coming up.
Happy birthday, Bruckner.
Poetry open mic, songs of the Hispanic diaspora, deep listening interactive experience, a guitar virtuoso from Australia. That looks cool.
Ooh.
A flamenco trio. I would go to that, man. I would go to the Maharaja flamenco trio. But
it just looks like a house on the outside.
It does. Like if you look at Google Maps at what this place looks like, they definitely have next door neighbors, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
they do. But it's shockingly quiet. All they have is the
because
cars.
he's treated as the entire house.
Yeah,
from what I
can't
understand.
hear any noise. You don't hear people chattering. You don't hear a band playing. You don't hear a performance going on. You don't hear any of that stuff. So they must have put a lot of money into soundproofing that place.
Now, I want to say, and maybe somebody will eventually correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say that one or more members of the Jim Colbert Show performed vagina monologues there.
Oh, really?
I think that was the venue. I'm not totally 100% sure, but I think that was where they did it.
Huh, yeah, I had no idea that was a thing. All right, let's get into them. Here we go. It's the final dispatches.
Final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Maybe. We might have time for two today. Who knows? We're feeling a little bit froggy on a Tuesday. Here goes Dinkers with the dispatch.
What it do, junkie crew? Haven't left the dispatch in a while. Two people that do not leave their on-screen personas, Andy Dick and Larry David. They are just like that in real life.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Love you, mean it, bye.
I hope you don't mean that in a negative way, because I think Larry David is like Larry David in real life, but I think it's hilarious that he's like Larry
That's
David
a good
in
thing.
real life.
Andy Dick, we're not surprised by.
Yeah, Andy Dick's a weirdo, creeper. He's Predator vibes.
Also, I've gotten 3 or 4 texts that say Blake Lively was on a list of hardest people to work with.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that.
Really?
This morning.
I didn't see that. I didn't see any list in the news.
That list was like what
Let's
other
see.
actors said, right?
Hold on.
Like
Blake
based on what someone else said?
Lively, hard to work with. Let's just see if anything even comes up. What It Ends With Us says about the Blake Lively brand, that's not even a bad one. Yeah, I don't even see anybody writing a bad list with her on it when I go through these, but there you go. There's somebody says Blake Lively will ride out the online storm. What is that related to this movie? It's what she does best. Over the past 20 years, the Gossip Girl actress has carved out a unique reputation as the golden girl of Hollywood. She just seems like she's chill. I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong on that, but Courtney seems like she's knows more about her, and I don't see a lot of toxic stuff popping up around her. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get to one more real quick, and we'll wrap it up with this one. Here's Brovilla. Hello?
Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, Share the Show Tuesday, brother. When you wish upon a star.
This guy's got some vibrato.
What's going on with the parks? Look, my retirement is going to be pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on a cruise probably, I don't know, once every 3 months. So
You already are.
Yeah.
work my butt off to get here, man.
But proud of you.
The last 4 years have been pretty good for me. I can't complain about anything. My phone's been ringing off the hook, but I do have some friends in the industry that I work in. It's not so good, and I understand it. Policy is a big thing with that. Economics is a huge thing, and I wish the Democrats would get off of the social issues and start leaning more towards the economic issues, because when people make more money, they're
Apparently
happier.
that's a thing coming up.
So that's just me.
It was just announced. She's
What is?
My wife doesn't like when
Doesn't like what? Doesn't like when what?
Hold on.
I talk politics.
Okay.
That's only when we talk politics. He whispers that.
That's why he does it to us.
I saw in the Chiron announce a commercial about that Friday, I believe, Kamala's going to be given a blank about her policy as far as economics.
I think the problem is going to be, it's not just about like even coming out with her policies. She has to explain why she should not be attached to the last 4 years. That's going to be the hardest part for people, because they'll go, usually when people are voting for change, like Barack Obama would be a great example. People go, this person is new, and there's going to be change that occurs, which will lead to better things for me, better freedoms, or better access to the freedoms that I'm guaranteed under the Constitution, a better economy, better XYZ, right? All those things. But if you're already in the White House, it's a harder argument to make if the economy is not good. What she has to do, I guess, is go, hey, these are not my policies. These are Biden's policies that screwed this up. I got brand new ones that are totally going to work. That's why this is going to be a really interesting battle up into the wire. It's going to be tough. What, 90 days we got? Is it 90 days? 80-something days? Oh. All right, let's get the hell out of here. That's enough for today. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Today I learned this band. Queen. That's right, Queen and Freddie Mercury. His religion was Zoroastrianism, which I'm not really familiar with.
They use a sword.
But Zoroastrianism, an ancient religion that is currently estimated to have around 100,000 to 150,000 global adherents. That's not bad. That's a 6 digits worth of people, but not big on that one myself. An Iranian religion, one of the world's oldest organized faiths. How about that? All right, over to this. Today I learned in 2023, a gibbon, that's a type of monkey, friend, and a gibbon in a zoo in Japan. Oh, God, that's right. I said Japan. Japan! Got pregnant through a glory hole at the zoo.
Okay.
The 12-year-old white-handed gibbon lived by herself and was never joined by a companion. Some of her neighbors are males, sure, but their cages are separated by sturdy bars. Guess what? They turned it into a glory hole, and bam, presto, bango.
Hey.
The gibbon was able to get pregnant there in the zoo. Today I learned about Willie Jones.
That was always for other stuff.
He got the highest human fever ever recorded at 115 degrees.
Good job, Willie.
Willie Jones didn't die from that one. And finally, today I learned this group right here.
Pixies.
That's right, the Pixies indeed. Kim Deal, the bassist and vocalist for the Pixies, responded to an ad for a bassist, and she showed up, came to the audition without a bass guitar, and had never played a bass guitar in her entire life. But she was like, I think I could do this. They said, let's go. And the rest is Pixies history, just like that. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you later.